Okay, welcome back to our Astonishing Swordsmen and Sorcerers of Hyperborea campaign. This is session 73. We are traveling, or the party is traveling, basically through the Lug Wasteland to the hills just to the to the north of them. They're in search of an artist who has headed off there to paint and draw and sculpt and such. And the wizard Vol has requested that the party go meet this painter and see a painting that they're making. But guided by his brother, the was it Castrado? He's a singer, but he's a eunuch.
Deal.
What's that?
His name was Deal, right? Dill.
Oh no, I know
Castrato?
his name, but his name is Dill. Yeah, I forget you told me what it was called when they're.
Oh, Castrato. Yep.
He's a castrato. Yeah, so he's a castrato. He's the castrato Dill. You're heading to see his brother Fen, and you set up camp. You're pretty close, you think, to where he must be. You just have to locate him now. And on Penesta's watch, she saw a strange yet very familiar face in the fire, and then followed by a terrific scream, which woke the rest of the party up. And now the fire is almost completely burnt down. As the party wakes up and kind of looking around. So we'll have you guys intro your characters, and we'll see what you want to do. So let me start up at the top there. Crystal, tell us about your character.
Emerging from the tent and looking around is Rowan Seach, the pyromancer. She plays with fire, which is you're not supposed to do. Don't do that, kids. Don't play with fire. She's a professional. And that's Rowan Seach.
Excellent. Speaking of Pernesta, tell us about Pernesta, Nikki.
Nesta is now an older, wiser bard. At least she likes to think so, as she did get caught by the scream and aged 13 years in one night. So she's a little bit shell-shocked, and she just kind of wants to find this guy's brother, Fen, so that they can get the painting and figure out how to stop Kraken before she gets any older. And that's Penesta, the bard.
You're definitely not getting any younger, that's for sure. Rush, tell us about your character.
So I'm playing Revna Kabaldheim, the Legermanus, which is a thief magic user. And things continue to just get more and more crazy. And now she sees her friend Penesta screams out and apparently looks a bit more haggard and aged, and she doesn't really know what has happened, but she kind of springs up and is immediately on her guard and just hoping to survive her way through this mess.
Excellent. So also at the party are three NPCs. Helene, the Amazonian cleric, powerful fighter, a decent healer, not as good as Oltam, but pretty good. And Gunhild,
Nobody
the
was
Viking,
as good as Oltam.
Exactly. Gunhild, the Viking warrior, armed with a long spear and magical armor of glistening bronze and copper. Which is pretty good since she started off practically naked when you found her. So they of course come out of the tents as well. I mean, obviously you're in tents. It's absolutely super, super, super cold. And Dill, he's got his nightcap on. He comes out with the blanket wrapped around him, and he sticks his head out of the tent, and he says, "Wow, that was an impressive high note, Penesta."
Unfortunately, that wasn't me. There's something lurking out here.
Ooh. 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 No. That was a very high note. I don't know. And he sticks his head back and goes inside the tent.
I look over at the other two and I say, no chance his brother's a singer too. Could have been him, I suppose.
Maybe, but maybe you should get some rest, Panesta. I'll take the rest of your watch tonight.
Thank you, Roncite. I am feeling the need to lie down. She says she'll go into her tent.
Okay. Yeah, Gunhild also volunteers to stay awake, especially if there's something roaming around. She, as you're kind of getting reorganized, she goes inside and puts on her armor and comes out with a spear. And, yeah, if everybody's going to go back to kind of in rest mode, go ahead and roll a d6 there, Crystal.
Okay. Oh.
Okay, yeah, perfect.
You're welcome, everyone.
Yeah, so you are you're waiting around the fire, and you're kind of looking out for any kind of supernatural activity as you had encountered before, and you notice out in the distance, reflecting again, something you've seen before: the wolves that you scared off before. It seems like they've come back.
Okay.
They're about 50 feet out. I mean, they're pretty far out. You can be able to, like, if you stare out, you can kind of, under the starlight, you can kind of make out the slight shapes of their shadows, but mostly you just, when the light hits just right, you see some eyes in the snow, kind of crushing around and stuff.
Okay. I'm going to I'm reading a spell real quick.
No problem.
She's going to take a torch from her backpack and light it on the fire. And then she's going to cast Influence Normal Fire.
Nice.
And she will cause the torch she has in her hand to like shoot out towards them in like a big jet spray, and
nice.
try and scare them away like that.
Oh, excellent. Cool. All right, good. That worked out well for you. Okay, yeah, so you shoot this out in the jet spray, and of course it lights up the whole sky over, and you see standing like 20 feet beyond the wolves, so now about 70 feet away from you, 12 men. They're not wearing much. They've got some like furs draped over them in random places, but they're definitely like a lot of exposed skins considering how cold it is. They seem to be holding rough spears and shorter spears and hand axes, and they're kind of crouched down. They were just out of the view where the firelight wasn't reaching them, so you didn't see like their eyes reflecting, for instance. But when they see that fire, the wolves scatter, and when they do, the men look up and they charge. So you're not surprised, because luckily you shot it exactly in the direction they were. Does it do any damage or anything? How far does it go? Is it any kind of a weapon? Would it have hurt the men? Or,
no, it just it just basically causes the flame to like grow or shrink at my desire. The fuel
Awesome.
is not impacted, but the heat. The fuel consumption is impacted, but the heat is not. So it doesn't even make the heat go forward. It just makes the like flame go forward.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Yeah, so that definitely scares the wolves. I'm not going to roll morale like that. I mean, that would totally scare the wolves off, especially since earlier they got scared. But they did not scare these men off who were going to charge at you. There's about a dozen of them. So, but nobody's surprised. So what? Actually, they could be surprised. I suppose they didn't know you were going to do that. No, they're not. Okay. Yeah. So what would you like to do?
I'm gonna go ahead and cast another spell, and I'm gonna yell out if I can before I cast my spell. Everyone, wake up! We're under attack.
Okay. Yeah, you definitely do that. Okay, so you're gonna do that. Gunhild is going to brace her spear for charge. These guys, I can make it. And that's it. There's only two of you. Go ahead and roll initiative for your side, Crystal. They got a 5. Ooh.
Ooh, that's gonna be hard to beat. I got a 5.
Okay, what's your dex?
10.
Okay, theirs is also 10, which makes it simultaneous. However, because they're going 70 feet, they have to do like the full charge, so they can't actually attack until second phase. So even though they won, you're still going to get to shoot up the spell off before they get to you.
Okay.
So, but what that also means is because they have to come at the second phase, that everybody else can get up and start to, because you yell loud and everybody's on, ready. If Panesta and Revna want to move or get ready or do anything inside their tents, they can do that this round.
Isn't Grimhilda with me?
Grimhilda's with you. Yep.
Okay.
Did I say good? I'm sorry, Panesta and Revna. Helene's in her tent, so she'll get up. She's not wearing armor obviously right now, but she's going to get up and grab her hammer. Come out, but it'll take this whole round for her to do that, and possibly the end of next round. What about Revna and Panesta? Do you guys want to try to leave your tent or do anything inside your tent this round?
Yep. I'm going to grab my longsword, and I was just on watch. Would I have had any armor on?
I mean, you went back to bed.
I'm back to bed yet, so I'm not going to put my armor on, but I am going to grab my longsword. And come out of the tent, yes.
Okay. How about Revna?
Yeah, she's going to probably follow.
Okay. Grab paper here for some hit points. Okay, so your spell's going to go off first.
How far? So they're 70 feet away?
When it goes off, they'll be 40 feet away, 30 feet away from you.
Okay, perfect. I'm casting Blinding Light.
Cool.
I cast it like in the middle of them, and it does an evoking flash, 20 feet diameter spear of brilliant white radiance. And creatures in the area have to make a sorcery saving throw unless their eyes are closed. And if they are 3 or fewer hit die, they'll be permanently blind. If they're 4 to 6, they're blind for 2 to 4 rounds. And if they're 7 or greater, they're 1d4 plus 1 rounds.
Okay. All right. I'm going to say it'll hit half of them because they were converging, so they're pretty close together. But of course, they were going to go around you. So half of them is 6 of them. I'm just going to roll one saving throw, if that's okay. Or do you want me to roll for each?
That's fine.
Okay. Let's see. Because I'll do roll 20. D20. Boom. Nope. Fails. Oh, wow. Okay. Okay. 6 of them scream out and kind of grab their faces. They drop their spears and hatchets, and they kind of collapse to the ground, grabbing their eyes, freaked out by the magic. And, of course, blinded. Wow. Okay. Damn. Okay. Then the second half. Good.
I'm sorry. I had to add. The creatures that are not within the radius, they still have to make a save, and if they fail, they see spots for 1d6 rounds.
Okay.
So I think that counts for the party as well, for me and Grinhild, because we're outside.
Okay. I will roll the other 6 of the guys right now to see if they see spots. 11. I'm going to say they probably do because their save is 14. Yeah. Okay, so what do the spots do? Some penalty or something? Or just thematic?
It just says, let's see, blinded creatures lose initiative and suffer -4 on attack rolls. Creatures not within the radius of the spell that lose their save will see spots, which might have adverse effects at the referee's discretion.
Okay. Okay. All right, so Goodhill is seeing spots. All right, yeah, I mean... We'll see. It's dark, so we'll see if it affects them. Okay. The other ones are definitely going to stop. They're not going to finish their charge because obviously they're blinded. They kind of drop down and like I said, they're trying to figure out, and then they kind of start to like make their way. Obviously they're blind, so they're just kind of like dragging themselves across the ground. They can hear the combat as the rest of them charge in. So I'm going to say at least this first round with the spots, I'm going to give a penalty to these guys for attacking of -2. but then they'll get used to it.
Okay.
So we'll give them, so for this round anyways. There are 6 of them, and they're going to close 3 and 3. So what's your AC?
2.
2. Okay, yeah, good AC. Okay. All right, they need a 17 to hit you, and they need a... Oh, I don't have her armor class down. Why is that? No, 0 was her armor class. I'm like, this is 0 there. No, it's 0. That is her armor class. Okay, so they need a 19 to hit her. All right, so first 3 are against Rowan Siege. Oh my god. Okay. 2 of them hit you, one of which is a crit.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that sucks. Okay,
I
so let me
also
roll.
get a damage reduction, so let me know
perfect.
their
And that'll be on
individuals.
each one of them. Yep. All right.
Yeah.
So for the first hit, because -2, it's a 17, so it still hits you. That's it. Barely made it. That -2 almost saved you. All right. So that one does. Okay. Well, they're charging, so they only get 1 attack this round. It's by weapon, and they're using a spear, short spear, which does spear short, one-handed, because they're so just a d6. Okay, 1d6 for the first guy. 4 points of damage, minus whatever your damage reduction is. Okay, second guy, I'm going to roll the crit. Okay, 4 on the crit, and he's a monster. So that double damage. Okay, so again, another d6. 3 doubled is 6. So then minus whatever you got from that. The third guy
3.
missed you. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, cool. Yeah, right. You're -3 damage reduction.
-2.
Okay, so right, so you take 4 the second time, right? Because it was 6
Oh,
minus
take
2.
4. Okay.
Yeah, because it was 3, but it's doubled, so 6 minus.
Oh, got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. Okay, 3 on Goodhild. They need a 19 to hit her, which means they need a 21. So I'm not going to do any of that math. Which they get plus. Actually, it's a wash actually because I forgot they get +2 to hit. So I guess I need a 19. So it doesn't actually matter. That doesn't really change anything. Nope, they all miss her terribly. But in fact, she should have went first. She gets to stab one of them as they're charging in with her spear. Boom, she's got it with 2 hands. And I think that it does... Because she's got it said it does double damage. Yeah. Yeah, it does. And that's going to kill him, because double that is more hit points than they can have. All right, one guy goes down. Cool. All right, so the end of the first round, the Revna and Podesta and Helene are moving out of the tents. You guys kind of get your head out. You see that there's 5 of these kind of wild men with spears and hatchets, or hand axes, kind of gathered around your companions. There's 6 more of them that are kind of moving. They're kind of stumbling forward with they've dropped their spears mostly. They just have the hatchets, and they're kind of moving up into the group. It blinded them, it looks like, but it did not make them want to retreat. They seem like they're intent on their actions. Dill is staying inside.
Yes.
He's like he cuts inside the tent. He's curled up into a ball. Okay, so what's everybody's plan? Rowan Siege, what would you like to do?
Rowan Stitch is going to pull her quarterstaff, and she's going to dodge.
Okay. Panesta.
I will go after one with my sword, melee.
Okay. Revna, what's your plan?
Not far enough away to be able to use my my bow.
Yeah, I think so.
In that case, I want to go ranged.
Yeah, you do that. Okay, cool. And the 2 NPCs are going to attack melee. Okay, so Crystal, roll initiative for your side. Oh, they got a 5 again. Okay.
1 this time.
Oh, okay, they're going to go first. All right, they're just going to, they're just moving in on you. The blinded ones don't know there's any other people to attack, so they're all kind of clustering in as they kind of circle around you. But they're -4 in their attack. So, okay. So against Revna, we're gonna put 3 against you. All of them miss. There's 2. These are non-blinded ones going after Gunhild. They miss, and then I'm just going to roll randomly. Oh, all right. 4 of the 6 blinded ones are going after Gunhild because they're just moved in. So there's 2 blinded ones against you who actually they're technically -2 because they're +2 to hit. So they need a 19 to hit you. No, and you're dodging.
Yeah, I'm dodging, which will give me a +2 to my AC.
Okay,
so I'm at AC 0 right now if I don't have my quarterstaff out.
All right, so then they need a 21 to hit you plus with a 2. So they need a 19. Nope, missed both times. That helps you because a 17 would hit you. And then the 4 of them are going after her, which actually they cannot hit her because she's the same as you, AC 0, so they need 19. Nope, I miss every time. Okay, so these blind guys get in there. They're all kind of clustered around. They're kind of banging into each other. They're howling. Now that they're close to you, Ron Seach, you can see that their eyes are like bloodshot, and you can see they're very dirty. Like their beards are you can see like remains of like meat and stuff in them. Like they don't look like they clean themselves. Their fingernails are all dirty, and and like I said, they're barely wearing any clothes. They're barefoot as well. They seem like feral, basically. All right, good. So none of them hit that time. That's good. Okay, so that's them. Now on your side, melee. So that's Panesta.
Okay, let's see. It hits armor class 4.
That hits.
Okay. For 4 points of damage, not much.
Okay, all the guys hit points. Okay, that's a good hit. He's very, very, very hurt, but not dead. Okay, Gunhild is going to actually target 2 separate ones because she's pretty confident. So against the first one, she kills it. Send second one, she kills it. That's yeah. She hit armor class -13.
Wow.
Yikes.
That's wow.
Yeah, that might be a new record. All right, so only Mike's characters do stuff like that. And then finally, Helene is going to come in and swing her great hammer, which hits and might kill. Yeah, it kills. Okay. So there's currently 2 that are standing that are not blinded, but all the other blinded ones are still dangerous because they're swinging wildly with their weapons, but you can see they're blinded because their eyes are like white. Okay, that's all the melee attacks. So missiles would be revenue. Would you like to target the last non-blinded one or one of the? Well, there's 2 non-blinded. One's been hit once, and one has not been hit at all.
I'm gonna try and
there's a bunch that are blinded.
I'm gonna try and finish off the one that's been hit.
Mm-hmm.
So short bow. Here we go. Pew, pew.
Yep, 2 hits, and definitely a kill because he was very hurt. All right, yeah, he drops.
I did. Hold on, I did that wrong. It's 3-2, so I should have had one.
The first hit killed him, so it doesn't matter.
Oh, okay.
So he would have been dead anyways. All right, so yeah, you land an arrow into the guy, the one that Panesta is attacking with the sword. So you cut him, Panesta, he staggers back, and then an arrow sticks in his chest and he falls down. You see one more that's actually on Rowan Siege, and you can see that Gunhild's moving in that direction. Of course, she's surrounded by 4 of these blind ones swinging wildly. As we come into the next round, that's everybody, right? So what does everybody want to do? Rowan Siege. You've got 2 blinded guys on you and one not blind.
Now that she has her quarter staff out, she's just gonna dodge, and that'll give her an AC of -1.
Okay. So then they need a 20 to hit you then. They got to roll a natural 20 to hit you. Okay. How about Podesta?
Another melee on whichever one is closest to me.
Okay. That would now be a blinded one.
Okay, I'm still gonna. Oh yeah, I'm just gonna start taking them out melee.
Yep, makes sense. Revna?
I'm going ranged again.
Okay. And Gunhild is going to move up to the one that's not blinded. That she's avoiding the ones that are on her. She doesn't care. She's going to move, so she's going to take a penalty to her armor class. But she's going to move up and try to kill the ones that are on Ruin Siege. Okay. And Helene's going to hit a blind one. So go ahead and roll initiative, Crystal. Oh, 5. That's the third 5 in a row with this, guys. And I've used a different die each time.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So before Gunhild gets there, unfortunately, they're going to get attacks on you, but they do need a natural 20 to hit you. So that's both good and bad because you don't want them to roll natural 20.
Yeah.
All right. So so the first guy attacks. This guy needs this guy needs a 19 and the other two need a natural 20. Misses. And then, nope, 20 total, but not natural. All right. And then the 4 of them are still on Gunhild. And she hasn't moved yet, so she doesn't get that penalty, which is good, I guess, losing initiative there. So they needed nope, they all miss. Okay. So yeah, they're swinging wildly. And then we do melee, so Podesta.
Okay, let's see what I got. Armor class 5.
That hits. Yeah, their AC is only 8. So.
Okay, that's right. Whew, for 10 points that time.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure he's dead. Oh, actually, his maximum hit points. He's not dead, actually.
All right.
He's blinded, but he's still up. You cut deeply into him. That was a really good hit, though. All right, so Helene is going to attack a blinded one as well. That also with a good attack, and that one kills because he has 10 hit points, so he's dead. All right, Gunhild's going after the sighted one and then the blinded one that's on Ron Siege. So sighted one first. Well, there you go. That's the best attack she can make, I guess. They sit -14 armor class. Because that's a natural 20. Okay,
wow.
Let me just roll a d6 for it just to make sure. 2. Plus 2 damage, so 11 points of damage. How many hit points does he have? Oh, God, he has 12. Okay, so he's actually up still. She was super confident, hit him really hard, and he staggers back and is still up somehow.
Wait, did you roll the d6 for the crit?
I did, yeah, and it was just plus 2 damage.
Oh, okay.
Unfortunately, yeah. Yeah, she was overconfident, so she stabs that guy thinking he's dead, and then she turns and stabs at the other guy, because that's what I said she was going to do, at one of the blinded guys. 9. That guy she kills. Okay, so then we go to Rowan Siege. Rowan Siege, there is... No, sorry. Revna. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4 blind guys up, one of which is injured pretty seriously by Podesta, and then one non-blind guy who is not injured. I mean, is injured very bad, I should say.
Okay, so they're both injured pretty bad.
You got 2 injured people. One's blinded, one's not. One's on Rowan Siege, one's on Podesta.
Let's go for the one on Rowan Siege this time.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so this time I get to roll twice.
That's right.
Okay. Here's my short bow. Shunk.
Oh. Okay.
Well, 4 points of damage total.
Okay, it was enough. All right, he drops. Yeah, so 2 arrows sink into this guy, and he drops down. So Goodnill probably doesn't even realize that she didn't kill him, because and then she turned and went that way. He was going to ram her in the back.
I'll make sure she knows.
Yeah, she's only killing 10 of the 12, so you got to give her a hard time.
Yes.
All right, so yeah, there's 3 blind guys left. They are not backing off. They're drooling. I mean, you guys have been around, obviously, because he died at the beginning of this adventure. You're a berserker friend, and these guys are showing a very similar, even more animalistic and less controlled and less cool, because they're not turning into an actual animal vibe. And there's 3 of them. All 3 of them are on Gunhild. They've kind of... No, there's 4 of them. Sorry, there's 3 on Gunhild and 1 on Penesta. So what would you like to do, Road Siege?
This time I'm going to throw a dagger.
Mm-hmm. Penesta?
Melee on the one in front of me.
Okay. Revna?
I'm going to stick with the bow.
Okay, perfect. And the 2 NPCs are going to melee as well. Both of them attacking the uninjured blind people. Okay, so initiative, Crystal. Got a 4 that time.
Okay. 6.
Okay, going first. So melees happen. Let's see. Penesta.
All right. Ooh, yeah, that hits for sure. That's a 19 on the dice. So
Nice.
4, 9 points of damage.
Dead. All right, you cut through him. He drops.
Nice.
Helene swings at her blind guy. Yep, that hits. And kills. And Goodnill's going to do the same thing. She's going after 2 different ones, because that's... so far, that's worked for her, except for the once. Okay. Okay. That kills him, because he can only have 12 hit points. And that kills him, because he can only have 12 hit points. Okay, so she takes out another 2. Leaving everybody dead. Okay, yeah, so Goodhill jumps into the mass and cuts down 2 of them as you're getting ready to throw your dagger around siege. And you get your bow knocked, Revna. And yeah, they fall to the ground, and there's a big mass of dead, a dozen dead men, kind of wearing some furs on their body, barefoot though, very dirty. The weapons they have are rusted and not well maintained. They're not like stone weapons or anything, but they're definitely. You would get the feeling just by looking at the state of these guys that either they acquired these weapons by killing somebody else and taking them, or they had them before they went into this very feral stage that they're in, because they look exactly that feral.
Oh.
Runsiege is going to put her dagger away and say, "Is anybody hurt?" as she holds a wound on her side.
Well, I'm not. If you look like you are.
Yeah, they managed to nick me a little bit.
Yeah, Helene comes up to you and she says, Road Siege, you should try to, not fight so many at once. Are you very hurt? She kind of looks at the wound.
On a scale from 1 to 18, I'm sitting at about a 10.
Oh, all right, so. There you go.
Oh, wow, yes.
She touches the wound and heals up. Yeah, she says,
back to full.
She says, she heals, and she looks at her handiwork. There's not even like a scar. It's like perfect. And then she's like, full 10. All right. So yeah, you're looking at these guys, and you can see a couple of things that seem out of place. Well, one major thing. One of them has kind of over his like shoulder, like he's carrying it, a satchel. Which looks, it's a little beat up, but it looks way nicer than anything else they're carrying. And several of them have very bright, colorful paint on their bodies. But as you're looking at it, it doesn't look like the kind of like greasy paint that you'd put like on your body, like war paint. It's like chipped off and broken and stuff.
I wonder if these are maybe the hands of a necromancer or something. I mean, they were feral humans.
Don't know. I just hope that they didn't get to Fen before we could. Although it seems like he could take care of himself.
Yes.
So.
Do they look like they were alive? Like, is there any sign of decay or anything on them?
Yeah, you look at the bodies. They're bleeding pretty profusely. They don't seem to be decayed or undead. No, they seem like they were alive. They look like they've just lost their humanity to the wilderness.
Never seen anything like this before.
Well, let's hope we don't meet any more of them.
For sure.
I'm getting too old for this. So, the paint, you can't tell what, like, if it was any kind of shapes or words or anything.
Yeah, so you look at the bodies with the paint on them. It looks like they're like fingers, just like, like markings, like war paint type vibe. Nothing, no words or anything. There's some things that are like arrows, like you see some like shapes, but not really anything that would signify any kind of language.
Okay. Some sort of strange tribal, maybe not tribal, but
Yeah, I mean, you don't think like it doesn't look like because that the tribes like the Picts, for instance, that paint their skin, they have a very particular way to do it. It's done with artistry and done for a reason, and all the paints and stuff, mean something. This looks kind of random to you, although it's you don't know that for sure, but it doesn't look like anything you've seen before because you have dealt with the Picts before.
Right. Okay. I look over at the others. I just say, well, it looks like they kind of knew the idea, but not how to implement it. So, who knows?
Maybe wherever they got the weapons from were a group of Picts. Maybe they just copied what they saw.
Possibly. Surprised they would be able to take out Picts. Picts don't go down that easily.
Surprise attack, perhaps. They did originally have wolves on their side, but I scared away the wolves with fire.
That's such a good thing, Rowan Siege. I'm glad we didn't fight wolves as well. Well, if there's any more left in any of this night left, I'm going to go back to bed.
Yes, good idea.
Okay, just gonna leave the bodies like just laying on the ground by the fire where you are at.
Rowan Siege will burn the bodies.
We're gonna burn them. Nice. Yep. That's a hell of a bonfire, but you are a pyromancer. Okay. Yeah, Gunhild will help if that's what you're going to do. Helene actually says a few prayers over them, because that's what clerics do. And, while you're kind of prepping the bodies. You do notice, though, that one does have kind of an unusually nice, like, satchel, like, over his shoulder. None of the other ones are carrying any kind of bags or anything.
I'll look at it.
Okay, yeah. I mean, as you're kind of dragging the body, you see this thing. It looks really nice. You kind of pull it off his shoulder. It's definitely not weathered and beat like the other furs and stuff they have in their bodies. It doesn't feel all dry and brittle. And you open it up and you see the inside is splattered with all different color. And there's broken glass in there. And you kind of dump it out and look at the stuff, and you can see that it looked like there were jars of various pigments and stuff that were in this bag, but they seem to be smashed up and broken.
But it's a nice bag?
Yep.
Okay, I'll keep the bag.
Okay.
I'm going to write down nice bag.
Yeah, it's a nice satchel. Like a over your shoulder, like a messenger bag style. The inside's all stained up and wet now. I mean, it'll probably dry eventually if you dump all the stuff out.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll get it cleaned when I get back to town.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so you finish, you and Gunhild, and Helene stays up too because it's almost there to the end of the morning, anyways. And you get the bodies on the fire. Occasionally, you hear the tramping of the wolves at a distance, but they never come close enough again. They probably smell the burning meat and are attracted, but not brave enough after twice being scared by the fire to approach the camp. So, as the morning comes, obviously it doesn't get bright. It doesn't get bright until around noontime, but it's kind of morning time. You can tell by the way the stars are in the moon and stuff. People start to kind of move in the tents and come out, to have breakfast or whatever. Gil's like, oh, what's cooking?
Human, do you want some?
Oh, no, thanks.
Ron's just laughs.
There was a violent conflict last night.
Yes. But we took care of it.
Oh yes, I was trying to get myself ready, but it's very cold, and if I come out without my stockings on, my feet.
Oh yes.
My feet can get cold, and that doesn't do good for the singing voice. You do not want to sing with cold feet.
I bet. Turpinist knows all about that.
Oh, yeah. Cold feet. Kind of side eyes, Bill.
Could I have memorized any of my spells?
Not since you stayed up the rest of the night, no.
Okay.
But anything you memorized before that. So you would have had them all rememorized before that. So I guess the two spells that you cast, the affect normal fires and the blinding thing, you wouldn't be able to get those back. The bonfire is fine because you did that earlier. But then you went back to bed for hours. So yeah, I'll say you have enough strength. It's like that happened the next day, if you will.
All right. Sounds good.
Sense, yeah. So you're kind of getting stuff right, and Gil, he looks at your road seat. He says, "Where did you get that bag from?"
One of the men had it.
But no, that's Fenn's bag. I'm sure of it. Look at the on the inside cover. You'll see there's his name is charred into the cover.
Oh.
And she'll look.
You open it up. It's paint splattered all over the place, so it's hard to see. But kind of looking at it in the firelight, you can see that there's a like a char, like a, what do you call it, like a branding, basically of initials in there. You wouldn't have noticed it right away without really looking for it because of the paint. And of course, he sees the paint and he's like, oh, it's paints.
Oh.
The men had that? The men you killed? Perhaps they were friendly.
Well, they didn't act friendly.
Well, sometimes when you're in the wild, it's hard to really know if somebody's friendly or not. Did you ask, where they came from?
We didn't really get a chance to have a conversation with them.
I see. Well, that's his bag, though. Do you think he's okay? And he looked at Bernasta.
How good of a wizard's apprentice was he?
He's good, I think. I don't know much about this wizarding, I'm much more of a singer.
Well, yes, I don't know if he's okay. I don't know if maybe he managed to get away and they just stole his bag. We should probably find where they came from, find him, and as soon as possible, because there's a possibility he might be in trouble.
He's kind of looking around at like the where the fire is, and there's basically just like bones and stuff in there. And he's like, "Did they have anything else on them? You searched them, of course."
Yes, they didn't have anything of value. It seemed their skin was painted.
Their skin? Did it tell the future?
It did not. Seemed random.
Well, some say the future is not fixed and is quite random. The followers of Rel, all that.
Well, then maybe it did tell the future, and I just couldn't read it. Well, since this is your brother's bag, please hold on to it, and she will give him the bag.
Oh, okay. He takes it. I hope he's okay.
I'm sure we'll find him.
It's dangerous out here in the wastelands.
It is. That's why we need to find him as soon as possible and get you back to Khromarium.
Well, I have a poniard. He takes out his little pointy dagger. So I can, in fencing school, I did pretty well.
Oh, I'm sure. But let's just find Fen.
Yes. And if
Yes.
more combat arises, just stay behind us.
Ah, yes. No, that makes sense. I wouldn't want to. You are seasoned veterans.
And Roensich is going to pull Pinesta to the side and say, I don't have a good feeling about his brother, to be honest, but our real objective is to collect the paintings.
Yes, it is. We need the paintings for Rule for various reasons. One, because I promised, and I don't need to break a promise to him. And two, because they might show something about the Kraken. So, yeah, the paintings are the priority, but let's hope he's not either dead or crazy.
Or both.
Or deadly crazy.
Okay. So you break down your tents and all. You have your horses, and you get them kind of prepped for the morning. Get everything loaded up on top of it. Obviously it's still dark, but losing track of the days here. It's it's actually a full moon. So it's a full moon for Phobos, and Selene looks like it is. Okay, Selene's basically almost gone. So there's not much kind of light coming from Selene, but Phobos is, which is a small moon. So it's a decent amount of light. You saddle up, and you can clearly see, there's the tracks for the wolves are all over the place, but you can see pretty clearly where these guys came from. And it is generally in the direction that you were heading.
Okay.
Did you want to, follow the tracks, or do you want to just, kind of skirt around so you're not following the exact type of trail they are?
What do you guys think?
I say if they had his bag, we follow the tracks and see where they were coming from.
Okay. I agree. What about you, Revna?
That sounds perfectly fine to me.
All right.
Good note says, if Revna says it's fine, then I'm sure it'll be good.
Give her a very cold side eye.
She smiles at you. All right, yeah. So you guys mount up and begin your journey. You're heading again towards those hills. The footprints go a little bit. So the hills are basically what is effectively northeast. You're going a little bit further. Now you've turned a little bit further north to follow the tracks. You're starting to enter the area of the bogs and the kind of the tar pits and stuff of the part of the wastelands. You've been in an area similar to this before, or Pinesta has, when you explored that mansion. But you're not super close to that area. You're close to it, but you're not super close. Effectively, Swamp Gate's over here, the tar pits and stuff are here, and you were kind of over there. And now you're over here. So you feel like you could find that place if you really needed to, but you're not heading towards it right now. You're kind of heading up. You can see forest off in the distance and some broken hills, but mostly these tar pits. Go ahead and roll a d6, Nikki.
Okay. D6. 4.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, so you make really good time. The tracks are not at all trying to be hidden. Again, you see, it seems like the wolves must be connected to them because you can see them running in and out of the tracks and stuff, but they're not, they don't seem to like stick with them like pack animals, but you see wolf prints that come in and out periodically. And you see a lot of, it seems pretty consistent, like it's going like down and like through a valley. It looks like you can't tell because obviously because completely, I should say, because of the snow and such. But it looks like this is probably a pretty fairly commonly walked path by the air, the way it's traveling. And you travel, until just about noontime, and the sun is starting to come up. And you kind of look off to your right, and you see on a hill a lone figure standing there. He's a tall-ish man, appears to be. He is holding in his hand a large spear. Girdled around his waist is like kind of like a nice wide belt with an axe on it. He's got he has furs on, kind of like the people you saw earlier, except much nicer and completely covering him properly. And he's probably like 100 yards away from you. He's just kind of standing there, but it looks like he came from nowhere. Like you kind of just looked up and he's standing there. Either he was crouched down or he came from the other side of the hill or whatever, but he's now stopped. He's on foot. He doesn't have a horse.
I'm not sure I like the looks of this.
No, me either.
Well, I have a spell that could hide us so that we could run another direction. You want to avoid him.
He's just a tall man with holding the spear and stuff. Bill doesn't appear to recognize him as the guy, right?
No. I mean, it's hard to. He's kind of like the sun's just starting to come up. He's kind of silhouetted, as it would be.
Oh, okay.
You should, you learn when you're a cool, a traveling solo person through the wilderness of Hyperborea to stand with the sun to your back.
Right. Yeah, I'm picturing this. Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
Start to.
Yeah. So did you stop to kind of talk about this, or you're just kind of moving?
I would have stopped probably.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, if you stop and you're not, because it makes a difference for him, obviously, because if he sees somebody going by or if he sees him stop, then he's going to react differently. Yeah, if you stop and you're having this conversation, you hear, he's pretty far away, like I said, he's like 100 yards away. He yells, he raises his hand and he calls out. He says, "Travelers, this area is not safe. Though, it seemed you could take care of yourself, that's for sure." And then he starts walking toward you. Slowly but confidently.
Okay. I guess I look at Rowan Seach and I say, "Looks like we're going to talk to him."
Seems so. I'll have my.
He's 100 yards away. You're on horses, so if you want to skedaddle, I don't want to make it seem like you can't get away. That's up to you.
No, I think I look over at Rowan Seach and Revna and I say, I think we should hear him out, maybe.
I'll let you do that. Yeah. I'll let you do the talking.
Oh, goodness. Okay.
Gil looks at you, the party, and he says, "He's quite handsome in kind of a rough way, no?"
Well.
Those are the best kind.
You notice he blushes a little bit. It's hard to tell because his face is red because of cold, but it seems like he blushes when you say that. He kind of pats down his hair. The guy approaches. He takes his time, but again, he's got long strides, so he gets there. 100 yards probably takes him like what feels like an eternity, but it's probably like a minute until he gets close enough to speak again. And you can see him better now. He's got a beard, like any cool Hyperborean wanderer of the wilderness. He's got a huge scar coming down one of his eyes, so his eye is almost like half shut. And you can tell by the color of it how red it is that it's pretty recent. It's healed, but it's recent, He's got, his hair's pulled back. Like I said, he has furs on, but again, not nearly enough fur that you should have on being how cold it is right now. But he's got kind of like a cape and a proper loincloth, and he has a nice girdle with an axe in it. And again, he's holding a spear. Kind of right now, he's using it as a walking stick, and it's a long spear. It's not like a short throwing spear. And when he gets closer, he says, "I don't think I've ever seen anyone take out 12 men as quickly as you did. Well done."
Oh, thank you. We have some experience in these areas. Looks like you had a run-in as well. And I kind of point to his eye.
Indeed I did. Indeed I did. It may be fate that has brought us together.
How close is he again?
At this point, maybe 30 yards away.
I would
And
whisper.
approaching slowly.
I would whisper. As he's approaching, whisper for Rowan Seach and Revna. And I would say, how does he know how many we fought?
Rowan Sage kind of shrugs, keeps her eye on him.
Yes.
Yeah, I kind of nod. I hear it and I understand what you're getting at. So I just say,
Yeah.
Fate, you say? Did you need help?
Yes. Well, it seems the enemy of my friend... No, seems the enemy... Hold on. The enemy of my enemy is my friend. That's the way it goes, right? I've been out in the wilderness too long. I am Prax, by the way. And he kind of raises his hand like a salute. Now he's about 15 yards away.
Prax?
Yeah, Prax. He seems, aside from the fact that he's scarred and maybe a little bit dirtier than you would normally, want a civilized man to be, but because he's clearly living out here, he's quite handsome, and very muscular. I mean, he looks like he'd be a heck of a thing to fight. He's very similar to some of the powerful warriors who you've worked with before, like Muda and those people.
Okay.
He's got that look about him, and he says, "Draken." And he spits on the ground. Seems to have temporarily gotten the best of me, and is driving my men to attack innocents like you. If Draken were eliminated, things go back to the way they were, where we simply hunt the antelope that go across the Lug Wastelands, and we don't bother kidnapping dainty city people. And at that you hear Gil go,
Draken.
"Oh, you've heard of him?"
No, I just making sure I heard the name right. He's driving your men crazy?
Well, now he's only about 5 yards away. And then he stops. "I'm not going to say they weren't always a little crazy, but a strong leader keeps their men in line."
I see. Well, you certainly appear to be strong, she says.
"Oh, thank you."
Then she says, "So how is he? Is he a sorcerer? Is he using magic to send them after people?"
No. He's a warrior like me, unfortunately.
Oh, stronger than
I think
you,
that... He looks down at the ground for a second. He looks back up and he says, "It seems he put some lotus in my wine.
Oh.
Then challenged me to a fight. And don't worry, he's got plenty of scars to show for it. I just ended up Well, I think they thought I might have been dead when I woke up alone, stripped, bleeding from the face. He's got my damn sword.
Oh.
That is an insult.
Mm-hmm. And drugging a man is not very nice.
That's right.
Or very sporting.
Indeed. With his two, shall we say, what he's calling sub-chiefs, he's a little bit harder for me to reach than I'd like at this point. Of course, he's got the man up in frenzy, so... But if he was no longer there, this could work out. And I gather from the reaction of this one, he kind of looks at Dale, who then kind of yelps a little bit again, that the dainty one that they took is valuable to you all.
Oh, they took.
Yes, I'm not sure what they're going to do with him. Maybe eat him. Probably not, though. He didn't look very tasty.
Did they take his items as well? His art?
Huh. So it's the art that you want, not the man. Huh. I guess we see something here that I didn't suspect.
I'm just asking.
It is both.
The art I could take you to, but the price would be the same. If you don't care for the man, then a more direct assault would be simple enough.
I look back at Dill. I say, you love your brother, right?
Oh, yes. We have to rescue him. It's important. He's an important person. My mother always told me, Dill, you know your brother's important and you're not, right?
Oh, that's just a little bit heartbroken by that.
Oh, it's okay. I made myself more valuable. One sacrifice for another.
She smiles at him and she looks at Rowan Seach and Revna and says, we should probably do the right thing and rescue the brother as well as the paintings, right?
I would surmise that if we were to bring back both the brother and the paintings, that our contact would be more happy.
Probably. All right.
Plus, oh, sorry.
No,
plus, if your mother, these things she said were terrible and not something that any mother should say, but if you were the one who ends up rescuing your brother, then, well, who becomes the truly important one at that point?
He smiles. Indeed. Perhaps there'll be stories written about me.
Oh, we can certainly write stories.
Well, those who spoke ill of you would definitely now be in your debt.
Yes. He draws his little pointy dagger and he holds it up. I say we slay the... What do we slay? The rebels.
Rowan Seach is like dodging out of the way of the dagger, and she kind of like, yes, we'll get to that, and she's like putting its dagger away.
He sticks it back in his little scabbard. He says,
all right.
He's a veritable berserker.
All right. I look at Prax and I say, all right, we need to rescue the man and retrieve the paintings. If you can help that, we'll see that you get your sword back and perhaps some revenge on this Draken, which...
Oh, yes. All I need is an opportunity to face him in one-on-one combat. And I shall take him down. Of course, if he were slightly injured first, then I wouldn't complain.
Seems only fair if he poisoned you once.
Agreed.
Yes. Yes, I agree. And he has my sword.
What's how will we distinguish your sword from other swords of the men? Is it special?
It is the only sword. Only the chief of the tribe may bear a sword.
Okay.
All the others bear axes and spears. But you will know him, for he is nearly 7 feet tall.
Sounds like figuring out who he is shall not be difficult.
Yes, I can lead you to the village. If we approach, they will certainly attack if they see me. Under his command.
Oh, right. Under his command.
Right.
Well, maybe you should stay back while although if they are as feral as these other men, they might just attack us outright. We should probably have a plan.
They will definitely attack you. We need to kill him, and I must take the sword. Once I do, they will stop attacking, because I will command them as such as the renewed chief.
Okay.
So he who holds the sword makes the rules.
Well, that's part of it, of course. I mean, it's not like anybody could just hold the sword. That would not be a very good form of government.
Right, of course. So I look at Revna and Rowan and say, perhaps we should, under cover of darkness, try to sneak in there, grab the brother and the sword, and...
Yes. It's like a good idea.
Well, we must kill him. We can't just take the sword. Thievery is no way to earn a chiefdom.
Well, I assumed we could just take the sword and give it to you, and then you could go and challenge him.
I must beat him in combat in front of the entire tribe, and then take the sword.
Oh. So you must take the sword by force, is what you say.
That is correct. But as he weighed the odds in his favor with the lotus, I shall weigh the odds in my favor with any kind of his two sub-chiefs, some of the men that are guarding him. If I were to cut through them, I might be too tired to perform the duties. So if you were to help, and then, like I say, if he was already hurt a little bit when I fight him, that would also be good.
Well, you say he poisoned your drink with lotus.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any poison of your own?
No, they don't share the lotus outside the tribe. It is what gives them their favor in battle, if taken the right amount. But you never mix the lotus with the wine.
I'm just saying some of us have the ability to move unseen and could poison his wine.
Oh?
But if you don't have any lotus, then...
Aren't you part of the tribe? Why don't you have any lotus?
He stares at you.
I look at the other two. I'm sorry, go ahead.
The chief is not really part of the tribe.
Oh, okay. I look at it too and I say, okay, he's shady, but sounds like they're all kind of shady, right, in this area. So if this is a way to get Fen back and perhaps get the paintings, I think it's 6 of one, half dozen of the other. Whether this guy or Draken is worse. So what do you guys think? Just help him and then get back to Khromarium.
Well, at least have him show us the way.
Yeah. Once we see the village, we'll have a better idea of what we're dealing with.
Well, you are heading directly towards the village. And he kind of points at the tracks on the ground. However, the road will be guarded through the palisades in front. We really want to circle around. There is a stream that runs the back of the village from which the fresh water is drawn, and fish are caught. By crossing the stream that is unguarded, because no animals cross there and they fear no men, we should be able to get in. What did you say? Unseen.
Okay. Yeah, I think we should go try to sneak.
This is excellent. An allegiance is formed this day between Prax, the greatest chieftain of the Wastelands, and the warriors 7
Yes.
who ride upon the beasts of the land called horses.
Allegiance is a strong term.
Yes, and I'm a strong man. And he kind of narrows his eyes at you.
We're not saying you're not strong, so let's just...
Well, not like in a flirty way. That's a flirty face. This is an angry face. That's a flirty face. The difference?
Okay, let's go to the village.
Follow me, he says, and he picks up he just turns, and he starts leading back the way he came. I mean, there's only about an hour and a half of sunlight each day, so as you're kind of heading up over the hills, it starts to get dark immediately. The moon is still full, so it's fairly bright, but, it's not super bright. And there will be darker times of the night, obviously, as the moon moves across the sky, if you want to, because you had mentioned going in at a darker time. And he brings you up. You travel about 6-7 miles through kind of rough hills, kind of up and down, past some kind of tar pits and things. You see some animal trails. You see some wolf tracks. You see his tracks. He clearly walked this way earlier. And he kind of brings you around to this small hill. And he says, if we climb to the top, discreetly, we can see the village. But I would not bring the beasts of burden, for you will be a silhouette against the sky, easily seen by the enemy. And then he kind of squats down, like low, and he kind of moves up to the top, like kind of keeping...
Yeah, we can tie up the horse. Is there someplace we could tie up the horses or hobble them?
Yeah, there's you probably have to hobble them here.
Okay.
There's stones and stuff, but nothing that would really hold them. You could throw your reins down around like a big rock or something, but they would be able to get away if they really wanted to, if they got scared or something. But they would probably stay. So, yeah. If you want to take the time to hobble them, then obviously they won't be able to run very far if they get frightened, which is good. But also, you won't be able to take off very fast if you need to. So it's up to you how you want to do it.
What do you guys think?
Yeah, I guess hobbling them seems like the best move.
Every time I hear the term hobbling, I can't help but think of the movie Misery, and I'm like, God, don't do that to the horse.
This is a less permanent way.
Yeah. Why?
Perhaps I don't really trust this guy. Perhaps one of us should stay back with the horses.
Dill looks up. Oh, well, that seems like a very dangerous duty, and if you needed me to do it... Also, my pantaloons are quite expensive, and I don't think I really want to go to the water. They're silken,
Wow, nothing worse than wet silk.
Hey.
Exactly. I bet that affects your singing voice.
Right.
It would if they were wet.
Okay, Dill, you have
anything.
Yep.
They teach you in, singing class that you never sing in wet pantaloons.
Okay. Do you have your dagger? Okay. Guard these horses with your life then, Dill. We need them to get back.
Do you know how to
Is there
use
a
one of
signal?
these? Roland Siege asks, and she shows him her light crossbow.
Oh, of course. He puts his
Then
dagger away.
she'll give it to him, and she'll say, "Just make sure you don't shoot us." And she'll hand her over her 15 bolts that she has.
Okay. How many have 15?
Yep.
Okay. Just
And
in
it's
case.
a light crossbow.
Okay. Oh, yeah. You know how to use that. Oh, yes. A light crossbow. Excellent. Excellent. He starts, like, walking back and forth like a patrol. Goodnild kind of just stares at you all side-eyed.
Yeah.
And then she crouches down and follows the guy to the top.
Yeah.
She pulls her cloak down around her because, of course, she's all glistening in the copper armor.
Roland Siege is going to lean into Nest and say, "What do you think the odds are that he's going to shoot one of us?"
Let's just be careful and hope he doesn't start yelling 1 o'clock and all's well.
All's well.
So
Permanently.
So
He's
let's
mine.
just go get this done.
All right, yes, you go up to the top of the hillock, but Prax is already up there. He's kind of squatted down, like on his haunches, and he's got the spear kind of sitting on the ground. And you can see basically this hill is one of the higher hills in the area. It drops down pretty steeply, but not dangerously. It'll probably slow you down, like going down to not fall or whatever, but it's not like there's any risk of falling if you take your time. And then there's about maybe like 50 yards of flatlands with the grasses and stuff. And then there is actually a fairly wide, but he tells you not very deep stream, which makes it a stream, not a river, because it's not.
Okay.
And you can see across that there is actually a palisade wall, but it's open there, and there is a small, like effectively a village. It's got maybe a dozen buildings in it. They're not very big. They're stone, like stacked stone and wood, and maybe some like mud jammed in between the things. You can see that in the center of the village, there's like kind of a large-ish, but not burning very high, but largest as far as diameter wide fire area. And you can see over the fire, there's some like mechanism. It looks like they probably cook meat on it, like or smoke things or whatever. So it looks like they have kind of a central village fire. You do see some people walking around, doing various chores and stuff in the village. Nobody seems to be guarding this area, though. There is one hut that is slightly larger, and there's smoke coming out of the top of it. And he points to that one and he says, Draken is in my hut, burning my coal.
That's where he is. That's your hut.
Yes, that's my hut. Do you know how hard it is to get coal out here?
Probably, I would assume it's fairly difficult.
It's 6 days' journey to the cliff, and you have to break it off with a hatchet or a pick.
Would Roland Siege know if there's any coal local to here?
I mean, you know that there are coal, not this exact area, but you know there's coal in these general, because the wastelands are basically tar pit. They're like areas that were a lot of prehistoric fauna was in. So yeah, there's coal.
Okay.
I mean,
And,
you don't know that where he's saying there's coal, but you know that there is coal in this general part of Hyperborea.
Okay.
If that makes sense. So, do you know if there's exactly coal where he's saying? You're not sure exactly where you are.
Yeah.
But you do know that if somebody was like, is there coal in the hills by the Lug Wasteland? You'd be like, well, there could be.
Okay. Okay. She'll say, you should just make charcoal.
That's not the same. But that's not a bad idea. I will keep it in mind.
Shame, but probably a much shorter walk.
Yes, but there's not many trees around here. You have to burn the hardest wood to create the proper charcoal.
I didn't know there weren't many trees. Out of
Yes,
character,
well,
I didn't know that.
it is the Lug Wasteland.
Okay. Well, I'll take back what I said.
Well, it's a good idea. I mean, there is a forest, but it is quite far to Lug. I mean, if you would like to set up a trading business of moving the trees from the Brigand's Bay towards here, we could maybe make something happen here. But I feel the charcoal is possibly a hard. Well, I don't know. I mean, we don't want to talk economics of the village at this point, do we?
No.
Yeah, let's save that for later.
We need to figure out how to get down to that hut and get Draken and get past his sub-chief and the men that guard him, right?
That's right.
Somehow.
There could be maybe 50 men in the village, although you killed a dozen of them, so maybe 40-ish.
Well, perhaps this is a job for Ravna.
Revna,
Maybe.
slayer of 40 men. And he slaps you on the shoulder. He's very strong.
I was thinking more like you could sneak in there, maybe gather some intel so we'll know better what we're about to face. I know that you are really good at sticking to the shadows and not being seen.
True. Very true. If only I had something to put in that wine, though. But yes, I can. I mean, what particular kind of info are you looking for? I mean, you know how many men are in the camp.
I don't know.
No, she's
Maybe.
asking the other dude.
Oh, he's asking Prax?
Yeah, like what kind of information do you want other that you don't already know?
I did not ask for information. I pointed out the place and that he's using my charcoal. Not my charcoal, my coal. Now you've got me all frazzled. It was your associate here who asked for information. I suggest we cross the stream and cut as many throats as needed until I get my sword back and rescue your friend and get the supplies to which you are in search of.
Well, I'll take a.
Do you want to just kill the man in the village and this one back here now that we're separate away from him? It seems you were unsure.
What? We don't want to kill
Well,
him.
it seemed to me like you were unsure whether you should kill this one. He kind of pointing down towards Dill, who you see walking back and forth with the crossbow.
We're not going to kill Dill.
Don't.
Well, that was the vibe I got.
Well, that was a bad vibe. You should probably pay better attention, like to your wine and stuff. Then she turns to Rowan. She says, "I'll take a walk through the camp. I'll find out where the brother is being kept, and see what else I can find out."
Sounds good. Just make sure you're not seen.
Well, I mean,
It's no problem.
I can make you invisible.
I can make myself invisible.
Yeah, there you go.
Rowan Sage was trying to say that without saying it.
Yeah.
She didn't want this guy to know that they had that power, but okay.
Well. Whoops. Maybe we should pay better attention.
It might be a good idea to pay attention to your wine.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, I'll make myself off toward out of sight, cast invisibility on myself, and then just walk in.
Out of sight of the party?
Well, just kind of get off where nobody can really see me, and then I'll just,
I mean, you're on top of a hill in the middle of a open area.
Okay. I guess
it would be
I'm
hard
a
for you to
little
get away from the
confused.
party. The party's going to be able to see you wherever you go.
Okay.
Unless do you want them to turn around? Are you stripping?
I'm just a little confused, I guess, as to the Lug Wastelands. Like, so
It's
they're
wastelands.
apparently just barren rock. There's no
They're
scrub.
rock and swamp and tar pits with the occasional, shrubbery, but it's also the winter, remember?
Okay. I
Yeah.
wasn't sure if
There
there was
hasn't
like
been a full
scrub
day of sun
brushes or
for
something
like,
like that around.
not on top of this hill. You can climb down if you want.
Well, I mean, it's not that big a deal. I'll just cast it
Okay.
and just start strolling.
Well, yeah, I mean, he clearly knows you can cast invisibility now because you had the conversation in front of him. So if you're trying to hide that you can do that, I don't think that's...
No, I'll
Okay.
just go do it.
Yeah. I mean,
And I'm allowed to have my clothes on, correct?
yeah, of course.
Yeah,
That's why I didn't know why you were walking away. He clearly knows that you can be invisible because you just had this whole conversation. He's just looking right at you and you're like, don't tell him you can turn invisible.
I
He
was
doesn't
trying
seem to
set
care
out a
one way or the
character,
other.
but yeah.
Yeah. Oh, no. You were, but
Yeah, we
Yeah,
got
the
it.
other
that's
two
fine.
weren't.
That's
Yeah.
fine.
All right. So, yeah. So, anyways, he knows you can turn invisible. And he turns around so you can turn invisible. And you're gone. And, you see Ravna's footprints, walk out into the thing. And then eventually it's far enough away where you can't really see them because, I mean, they're pretty subtle, obviously.
So everything's covered in snow?
Yeah.
Well, then the visibility's not going to work so good.
Yeah, I mean, inside the village, it's inside the village, it's like pressed down and stuff. So it'll be better than what it is where you are, sure, in an area where nobody walks,
Okay, that's fine.
But even, again, remember, it's pretty dark. So it's like a moonlit night right now. Because remember, even though it is the middle of the day, technically, at this time of year, there's only an hour of light. So it's, So yes, you walk, and once you're about 30, 40 feet away from the party, they can't see your footprints anymore. And you approach it, and you get to this stream. It's about 50 feet wide. You can look at it. You can see it's very clear. It's pretty fast moving, but it only looks like it's about a foot deep. And there are rocks and stuff, and then you can, if you kind of stare for a few seconds, you can see this. You can see fish swimming around in it and stuff. So it's not like rapids, but it's it's decently fast moving.
All right. Well, I'll just go ahead and cross it.
All right, yeah, you can do it. Yeah, you splash through the thing. I mean, obviously trying to be as subtle as possible. And you make your way through across the river, and come up on the other side. You can see right away on the other side. Again, there's like this palisades, but it's open, so you can walk right through it. And right on the other side of it, you can see there's some what is probably like a storage area. And there's like a bunch of buckets and stuff, and you can see that there's like buckets, and then there's a handful of like bigger barrels. They're full of water. It looks like. Those are sitting there, and then there's kind of a handful of buildings, and then as you go into the kind of the center of the area, like I said, there's this huge, maybe 10, 15 foot diameter pit, if you will, it's got a low fire burning, and over it there's you can tell now that you're close enough, they look like they're wooden, but like real thick or hard wood stuck over, and you can see there's like meat and stuff, meat hanging.
Okay.
In the center, like cooking up, and then around the edges you can see that there's skins, being dried and stuff like that. Otherwise the village is mostly like other buildings around that, smaller buildings, and of course you see the big building he pointed out. It's maybe twice the size, so it's maybe like a 20, 25 foot diameter. So I mean, because the other buildings are small, they're only like 10 feet. It's got like a doorway in the front with a door that's kind of one of those ones that's just like leaned against it, like it's not on a hinge or anything. It's just literally leaned there. It's just wood strapped together. There is a chimney of sorts, like basically a hole in the roof and some smoke coming out. And you could like get close enough and look into the door without disturbing it pretty easily, because it's just leaning against the wall. If that's what you want to do. You see immediately in town doing like random town stuff, like stuff dealing with the water and dealing with the meats and stuff. You see. 15 people total.
Okay.
Yeah. All of them have either hatchets or kind of long daggers, probably would be, like machete type daggers on their girdles.
So just to make sure that I'm 100%, you said buildings, and you said it was like wood together, because earlier the guy that's with us was talking about how they were in his tent. So they are buildings, not tents.
They're buildings. Yep. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, they're yeah. You could clearly see that they're buildings.
Okay.
Yeah. No, this is a permanent encampment for sure.
Oh, I got you.
The buildings are partially part of the partially stone. With you can see there's some mud stuck in them, combined with wood.
Yeah. Okay. Just want to make sure because tents are a lot easier to get into and out of.
Oh yeah, no, these are not tents in the sense of if you use the word tent, it's not the kind of tent that you're imagining.
Gotcha. All right. So he kind of already pointed out where the main dude is going to be at, right?
He pointed to what he said was his house or
Okay.
his tent, and he said that he was burning his charcoal or his coal rather, and so
is
one
there
can put two and two together to think that he'd be in that building. Yes.
right? So are there windows or some kind of?
There are no
anything
windows.
No windows.
But there is a door, and the door is basically just a large, strapped together, almost like what you imagine, like a raft. Like it's basically a bunch of small trees, and that have been cut down branches. Because again, there's not a lot of big trees out here. Strapped together with something, and they're just kind of leaning over an opening, and you can kind of, it's like leaning. So in other words, you have to move it to get inside, but you could see inside because it's just leaning there. If you got down on your hands and knees and like poked in, you could probably see it through the door.
That's what I was going to ask was can I look into the door inside of the building from the outside without walking inside?
You can. You'll have to get down like on your hands and knees and like kind of like just like stick your head into, because you imagine it's like, the wall is like this. It's like leaning on it.
Okay. So I would do that, but before I did it, I would check around to make sure there was no foot traffic anywhere near me because I don't want somebody walking into me while I'm down on my hands and knees.
Yeah, I mean, there's people moving around, but nobody seems to be coming particularly close to this building at this moment.
Okay. Yeah. So I do that and I look inside. What do I see?
Okay, yeah. So you do that. You get down on your hands and knees and you kind of bring your head up and you look inside. The first thing you see is the lower quarters of two men. They're standing basically in the doorway with their back to you. They're not blocking the entire doorway, but so you can see between them. They are clad in furs. They got the girdles around things. They have hand axes. They both have spears in their hands. You can't see their whole body because you're kind of on the ground looking up at them. Beyond them, into the space, you can see that there is what appears to be some kind of makeshift stove. It looks like somebody took a couple of like large iron pots and kind of put them together and smashed a hole in one of the sides of one of them. And there's coal burning inside, and the whole thing is very like almost like a red hot. And it's there's a hole cut in the top. It's smoke coming out. That's in the center of the room. It's giving off pretty much the only light in the room. You see what is a very tall man. He is 6.5 foot maybe or more tall. He is nude, and he is posed. And I'd say posed because he's posed, kind of like, like heroically. And you kind of like, and you look around, you can see that over on the other side of the room, there is a kind of little slightly overweight, looking very haggard with nice-ish clothes that are torn up man who's got what looks like a piece of like vellum or something. He's just kind of holding it in his hand very awkwardly. And he seems to be using a stick of charcoal to like he's draw or whatever on the thing, as if he's sketching the individual.
So that appears to be the brother, but can I see any semblance of the dude with the sword?
Well, I mean, you see a very tall man who's naked and posing. He's naked. He does not have a sword.
But he's ridiculously tall?
Yes, he's nearly 7 feet tall.
Well, okay. All right, so I get up off my hands and knees, so they're both in one spot, so that's good. And looking around the camp, milling about how many men do I see?
About 15 people currently that are out there doing stuff.
And how many buildings do I see?
10. Well, there's 10 plus the big one.
None of these have windows either, correct?
Nope.
Are there doors open?
All of the other buildings do not have doors. They don't have doorway. They have doorways, but they don't have doors. They're just an opening.
Oh, so I'm just gonna like cruise by and take peeks. I want to see if there's like a bunch of men inside each building.
There are people in most of the buildings. If you were trying to make a head count, you think there's probably anywhere between 30 and 50 people ish that you see besides the people in the main building, in the big building. I mean, if you want to take time to actually count, you can, but
No,
that's roughly,
I just need to get
without
an
spending a
estimate.
long time, that's basically, yeah.
Okay, so you said there was giant barrels and buckets right when I came in.
Yep, right by the palisade. So you've got like the wall, right? The protective wall. And then on
Yeah.
the other side of it, in the inside of it, you see where they put the water.
Okay, so I do know pretty quickly it's water barrels.
You can look at them in their water barrels. Yeah,
Okay.
it looks like they probably get the water from the stream and put it there. That way they don't have to keep going up to the stream to get water every time they...
Yep. Okay, I didn't know if maybe there was flammable in there. Do I see anything else that looks like it could be used if we were to make an attack, like something that could cause a huge distraction, or
You're saying something that they would use to defend the place?
well, I'm like glancing around, like when I see something akin to like barrels of oil or something like that that could be used to sow chaos inside the camp if needed.
No, you don't see anything like that. You
Nothing like
see
that.
basically, there's a fire in the center, but it's not a raging fire. It's more like a low flat fire, and you do see some wood that they obviously use to produce the fire. Where the charcoal he's talking, or the coal, now you get me saying charcoal, where the coal that he's using is coming from, it could be inside the tent with him. You don't see any place where it seems to be stored. That's obvious anyways. I mean, you could look around for it if you want. It'll just take you longer to look around. That's up to you.
Okay. No, that's fine. I'll go ahead and make my way out the front door, and as soon as I get far enough away that I don't think they can hear me or anything, I'll break into a trot to try and run back up the hill to the party.
Okay. Yeah, you definitely do that. Yeah. Nobody seems to pay you any mind. As you walk out and go across the water, nobody's using the water at this moment. Nobody's getting water from the stream or anything. So you get once you're on the other side, when you're far enough away that somebody wouldn't hear you.
Yeah.
Or at least not enough to know it's a person. So yeah, you can run back up to the top. Everybody's sitting up there, I guess, did anybody want to do anything while Revna was...
No, I don't want to do anything that might draw attention to her or to us.
Okay.
So when I get back to the top, I'm not going to make myself visible again. And I'm just going to just say, hey, it's me. I'm back. And
Welcome back.
What did you see?
so inside, there's about 10 buildings with men inside the building. There's about 15 of them walking around in the central area. So it's somewhere between 30 and 40 men. In the building that, what's his name again? Pike?
Correct.
Fen is the captive.
The dude that's with us.
Oh,
Prax.
Prax.
The building Prax was talking about, that where the charcoal is. The brother is inside there, and you hear her chuckle a little bit. And apparently, the chieftain is inside the building, posing naked, while Ven's, was his name Ven's brother?
Dill is the guy that's with you. Fen is the artist.
Finn, where Finn is apparently drawing him posing nude. It was a 7 foot, approximately. He was easily an entire head taller than most men. So he would stand at at approximately 7 feet, but he had no armor, no sword, no nothing. He's naked.
Oh, why are they always naked?
Well, I mean, hey.
You know how men are.
I mean, if he's 7 feet tall, you figure. Well, never mind. Anyway, they're both in the same building, so that's good. The problem is going to be getting to the building, getting the brother, and getting out. But you're going to have all those men to deal with, unless I don't know how your culture does it, Prax. But in the Viking culture, when a man walks in and challenges the king or the chief to single combat, the men respect that and they allow the combat to happen. I don't know if that's how it works with your people, but our single combat is usually done fairly honorably.
I mean, you have to respect different cultures, and that may or may not have been the case if you wanted to go in there and challenge him. But
no, you're the one.
As I have been ousted by the men, I do not believe they would take kindly to me just walking back in.
Okay.
Yes, I think that they would, probably serve me up for lunch.
And
not that they're
fair.
Cannibals, but
it's obvious that these are not Vikings, or else their leader wouldn't be posing naked for another man to draw him.
Well, you haven't been with very many Viking chieftains have you?
I've known a few.
Mm.
I don't know many of them to pose naked with the to be drawn that way. They would much rather be drawn in battle and have sagas sung of their victories. That's how they choose to be remembered. Not standing naked, of course. Being drawn by some fop.
I forgot that you're not cultured. You are drawn in the nude so they can get the full feel of your physique, and then they add the battle things after. You realize a painting takes a long time to make, right? They can't actually do it during a combat.
Oh,
you do know that, right?
Oh, of course I do.
He's like talking over here, and you're like over there.
Vikings are only concerned about the feel of their axe against a man's skull, not the way they look naked. So, but this we could have this discussion for a week. The point is that your man is in there naked, unarmored, and not with his sword on him. So your people will not allow you to walk in and challenge him to single combat. So since this is your people, I say that now's the time where you tell us what would be the best way.
We should storm the gates and slaughter every man to the well, until we get the sword back. Then whoever's left alive can swear fealty to me, and we'll get you the fop. Is that what you said? And the the items that they have or had.
This was your camp. Your hut is at the back against the palisade wall. Is there a weakness in the wall that would allow us to get into your hut without running through the middle of the entire camp?
What do you think? I'm a fool? Of course not. It's not right up against the wall. But it's well fortified.
I would say I would look at the others, but they wouldn't know it. There's this feeling that comes across Panesta, and Rowan sees that eyes are upon them.
I saw you wield great magic in the field. Can you not magic the men? Then we'll come in, take what is mine, and you get your stuff.
My magic is not offensive in nature.
Oh.
I just feel like a full assault's going to be a little too much. But at least we know that they want to keep Finn alive.
Yeah.
Here's my thought. What if we were to pretend to tie you up and take you in as a prisoner? I mean, maybe they would since they've ousted you.
Yeah. You can clearly see he's looking at you.
I mean, we don't have to actually tie you up, but we could pretend to tie you up, and
so what
when
you're
you
saying
get
is
there,
instead of the men believing that I was beaten in combat once, I was beaten twice. Well, that's what they want to look for in a chief.
well,
We
I
must
mean,
take them and destroy them.
You would get to challenge the chief, right? You know, like on your own.
Haven't we had this conversation? He looks at Bernesta.
I'm just saying,
This
like,
challenge the chief. Do you get your information from school books? You don't just walk in and challenge. Do you honestly think that a chief would take a challenge like that? No chief is that stupid.
Well,
that's storybook stuff. Storybooks. You become the chief by not fighting, if you can avoid it. After you've fought enough to prove that you can fight. That is how you become a chief.
Wisdom. Well, you're still invisible, right, Revna? I look around me.
Oh, you can turn invisible.
Oh,
he says sarcastically.
Since he's getting his portrait drawn.
What an honor. Yes, he's getting his portrait drawn.
Maybe I could use improved invisibility to just sneak in and just kill him or incapacitate him, like from behind. You know,
yes.
kill it. You know, so that then you can take care of it, Prax.
Yes, of course. I must beat him in fair and loyal and honorable combat. He winks.
Right. So if someone were to say slash his Achilles tendons, I mean, then he couldn't move, he couldn't chase us.
It does seem like a fair way to go.
Could knock him out so he can't yell, we can grab the guy. Improved invisibility doesn't make me go visible with my attack. So.
Well, that is excellent. And what a creative name for it. Improved invisibility. Why when they improved the invisibility, why did they not give this improvement to all?
You gotta be as good as I am to get it.
Is it new and improved?
Do you want my help or not?
No, I do. I'm just saying, you would think that, it would have a more spectacular name than that.
All right. Fabulous invisibility.
There's a
fabulous.
Whisper.
Oh, well,
there's a whisper in your ear says, do you want me to kill him now or like after we're done?
Wait till we're done. What is it with these dudes? I say, okay, all right. But that might not be a good idea because if he does manage to get off a yell, I can be, there is a slight shimmer in the air when I... What do you guys think?
I mean, I could create a distraction for you, set some of those tents on fire, maybe take out some of the men that are in those tents.
I feel like our default is always, let's just set part of it on fire, which is okay with
I
me.
mean, I am a pyromancer. You remember that, right? It's kind of my thing. It's kind of what I
It's a shame
do.
I don't have improved invisibility, because then you could like catch his legs and I could stab him in the neck. Make sure he goes down, or if he doesn't go down, he can't scream.
Well, you could. Mm.
Well,
I mean, I could cast it on you, but and I could go invisible, and well, but then I would be visible.
I have a name for you.
Okay.
The veil, I should say, of Khromarium shade.
Oh, that is very nice.
Well, actually,
Oh, what were you discussing?
We're just trying to figure out the best way to do this to get you what you want.
I suggest that we kill the men that drove me out and take back my sword.
Okay, so let's just do this. For Seats, you can set some stuff on fire, but give me a chance to get in and down there.
Mm-hmm.
So that he doesn't come busting out of his tent, and I'd like to be able to kill him in his tent.
Yeah, do not burn the body. I must show that I've won in rigorous and completely fair combat.
Right, we won't burn him. Not on purpose.
Could you drop the mantle of stealth upon me as well?
No, no, because I think because it's just a one-person type thing.
Oh, and I know nothing of magic.
Well, yeah. No, I can't. I don't have that one. There are those who can, but
Improved invisibility.
Exactly. Okay. So if Rowan sees stuff on fire, Revna, you and I can both sneak in. Revna, you can be kind of the backup, because we don't want you to expose, to appear visible unless you absolutely have to. In which case, if you do, we could get in, incapacitate Draken, grab Fen and his whatever he might have with him, and fly out on the carpet. I've done this before. I can do it again. I'm always stealing people with the carpet. So, what do you guys think?
I mean, sounds like a win.
I mean, we might all die, but that's always the case. So,
if I cast darkness, can I? Since I'm the caster of darkness, am I also blinded by the same darkness?
Yes.
Okay, I wasn't sure. I just want to make sure.
No, yeah, that's a good question. Be sure.
I mean, if we get attacked or if things go south, I still have other things that we can use to try to not, if things go pear-shaped, as they say. But I think I'm okay with this plan if you guys are.
Okay with it.
Yeah.
Okay. Prax?
Yes, what was the plan? We're going to charge in and take them down.
Well, you certainly can.
Did you notice if there was reindeer that was cooking over there? Belly has not been filled in several days.
Oh, yes. Well, you have plenty of time for that when this is done. Pay attention.
Oh, yes, it is.
If you want to run in and be part of the distraction, my magic friend here is going to set some things on fire. It's going to cause panic. In the panic, I'm sure a great warrior like yourself could use that to their advantage and take out several of the men in the panic. My friend and I... Go ahead.
I was just going to say, establish your dominance.
Yes, yes. Slaying frightened men is my specialty.
Don't make me feel bad about this, Prax. I'm going
Why
to.
would you feel bad? You're frightening him. Isn't that the point?
Yes, but when you put it like that, it makes it sound horrible.
Do you think there will be time for me to have my portrait made?
It's possible. Maybe.
Not if you don't live through it.
Oh, I have lived through terrible things. He points to the scar on his face.
Focus.
Yeah.
Then she goes, Penesta, the rest of the plan.
My friend and I are going to attempt to use stealth to sneak into Draken's tent, somehow incapacitate him. Figure that out when we see the sitch. And grab the guy we're trying to find and get out.
By that time I will charge through and run my spear through his gut, take back my sword, and claim my dominance.
That's all you. That's exactly
and some
it.
Reindeer.
Take as many reindeer as you want.
This seems like a good plan.
All of the reindeer.
You're quite a strategist. Perhaps you will come live with us when this is over. The village is growing now, and it's an up and coming area.
Oh, I'm sure it's just right for gentrification. But I think that we'll. I think that. Go ahead, Rowan.
Just asking a quick question. Do you have both invisibility and the other version of it that you were going to use?
Chimerian darkness?
Yes.
I'll pull Rowan. I'm going to pull Rowan Seach aside. I'm going to say, yes, I have both, but I don't want him to know because I don't want to make him invisible because I don't trust him.
Actually, I would like for you to make me invisible because the spell I was going to use, I need to be kind of close to use it.
Okay, but once you cast the spell, it will. That's not the kind that will let you stay invisible. You'll be seen.
That'll be fine.
Okay.
And while they do that, Revna is going to walk over to Helene and Grunhild and whisper to them, "You stay right beside Rowan Seach. Do not let her. She'll be invisible, but when she becomes visible, you stay right at her side."
So you want us to walk into the village completely visible?
No, when she becomes visible, you run in and you stay right by her side.
They just stare at you.
You're gonna see a giant ball of fire. When you see a giant ball of fire at one of the tents, run in.
That's your cue.
That will be your cue.
Yes.
So what you're saying is you want us to run in to the camp and be attacked by many warriors while you all are invisible. Well, that seems pretty fair.
I won't be
a bigger share of the treasure,
visible.
I think.
I won't be visible anymore after I cast the spell. So.
I see. Okay. They just kind of look at you, shrug, pick up their weapons.
You guys will be the backup, I guess.
Seems like a good day to die, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh, God. I swear this better not go pear-shaped. She says, too old for this. All right.
Revna would tell Helene, "I'm sorry," and then she would tell Grunhild that you're the reason why we're in this mess originally to begin with. So zip it. And she would walk away.
I'm not sure that's accurate anymore.
Well, I mean, she started us down the path, and now we're still on the same road.
This has nothing to do with her thing. She's now joined your quest. This has nothing to do with that.
I don't care. I don't care. I'm saying it anyway.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. It's like, eventually she's going to stab you through the back with the spear, and then you're going to regret that. But for right now, she's...
It's okay. I have an awesome new character already planned.
Yeah. So she's kind of... She's like, I didn't say anything. She lifts up her spear and, gets big like Jesse Dart. Okay, so let me just summarize what I think that you're planning on doing, and then we'll make it all happen if this is all correct. So, Podesta is casting improved invisibility on herself and regular invisibility on Rowan Seach. The Revenant is already invisible. They are all going to move down into the village. Rowan Seach is going to do some kind of magic to make a distraction. Penesta is going to go into the cabin and try to slay or disable, hurt very badly, the chief and get away with Fen. What's Revna doing? I think that's the part I missed. Are you going with Penesta?
Yeah, I think the plan was she and I were going to go try and work on the big dude.
Makes sense. Helene and Gunhild and Prax are all going to charge in once the distraction starts, and to be basically the frontline fighters. That's why they get the big bucks. And hopefully a tiny sword for a chieftain. Okay. Is that all correct? Who wants to pull the trigger on saying that's correct?
Yeah, I mean, it sounds right to me.
Yeah, me
All
too.
All right, so again, you're invisible. It's dark, really. Nobody's expecting anybody to be coming in. I mean, they have a fortified entrance the other way, but this direction clearly they don't see this being an issue where they'd be attacked. Clearly, this was their weak spot. And you're able to make it across the water, no problem, into the village. There's still, let's see, yeah, there's a few more people have come outside. There's maybe like 18 or 19 people out there now, because they're going in and out of buildings. And when I say men, by the way, obviously I maybe it's not obvious. I'm going to say there's people is what I mean by that. So there's women and men. They all have that same kind of appearance. So they're all just barely in, ripped up furs and way more naked than they should be, seeing how cold it is. And they all have the girdles with either large, like fierce-looking knives or hand axes on them. They're doing the various, the fire in the center to smoke, to stretch to smoke the meat, to cook the meat, and to stretch the furs, or skins, I should say. So you move up to the building, I guess holding hands so you don't trip over each other. And same deal. The door is there. It's like leaning. So effectively, this door, it's not clear. You either have to just pick it up and move it, or more likely, it looks like as you're looking at it, they just push it down. It just falls on the ground. It was like a drawbridge, and there's a rope on it. They just pull it back up, not like a pulley rope, but they just literally just grab it and pull it back up. So it's just effectively just knocking the wind out so it doesn't come in this tent. So it's nice and warm in there. So you get into position, I guess, by that door. And then Rowan Siege is going to break off to do her spell. What spell are you doing, Rowan Siege?
I'm going to be doing Produce Bonfire, and I'm going to do it where the little fire currently is.
Okay, so the low fire in the center, or you're talking about the fire inside his room?
Where the low fire in the center.
Okay. Cool. And what's the intent there?
Well, when they see the big fire, that will give the signal. And also, I'm hoping maybe, I don't know, it'll draw men closer to it to see what's going on. I'm kind of doing this by the seat of my pants, and we'll figure out where it goes.
Oh yeah,
we do things.
What you're hoping to get as a result. So
Yeah.
I can kind of
I'm sorry. Yeah. I mean, I'm hoping. I don't know. Either it'll stun men or draw them in to see what the heck is going on, or something, and then I'll go from there.
Okay, fair enough. The spell Produce Bonfire. Causes a fire to ignite magically. A full roaring blaze as large as 12 feet in diameter. Cast upon an appropriate pile of wood. The bonfire is just for 1 day per cast. Lasts. Okay, well, there's wood there. Creatures. Okay, so are you trying to light the people on fire that are working near the fire, or are you just trying to? I guess that's what comes down to the invisibility question. Are you trying to get people lit on fire? Each one, because it's already a pretty big fire. It's low. But it is wide. Do you want it to rip up and there's people leaning over it and hanging meat and stuff. If you can make it go up and set people on fire or burn them or whatever, or you can just make it go up and be impressive. What's the plan? I guess.
Yeah, that's
one is going to make you turn visible. The other one's not. So.
I just want it to look super impressive and distracting. I
Well,
want
it'll be more
people
distracting if
to.
people will get lit on fire. If
That
their
is
meat
true.
on top and all the smoking stuff is suddenly destroyed and the stretching skins and stuff are on fire, that's more likely to cause a distraction than just the fire going up a little bit. So,
Yeah,
but
that's-
but that will be considered an attack. That's so for invisibility purposes. So,
Okay.
you tell me what you want to do. I mean,
I'm
the
gonna do that. I
chance
want it
6
to
raising
look-
it
I want it to
period will
be-
work, but lower chance.
Okay, yeah, no, I want it to be grand and look super impressive. As I want it to look like an act of the gods all of a sudden.
Okay. Where do you want to be when this goes off? So I see the range is 30 feet. That's why I said to get closer.
Yeah.
Do you want to
exactly.
hide behind a building? Do you want to stand in the middle of the square and be like, "That's right, I just did this," and try to do that kind of thing? Or what's your plan? Go inside of a building? I mean, what is the?
You know what? Yeah, let's go with. I'm gonna stand in the middle of the. I'm gonna stand in the middle of the town, and I'm gonna be all like, "Yeah, I just did this," and I'm gonna. Yeah, I'll take advantage of it.
I'm the
All right.
Dread Pirate Roberts.
Right. All right. There we go. All right. That's cool.
One quick thing
Yep.
before we go in. Sorry, before we go in, I do want to cast fire resistance on myself.
Oh, okay. Good. All right. You are resistant to fire. Okay.
Yes.
So you come in and let's see. I'll just roll 3d6 to see how many of them. Okay. Yeah. There are 11 of the people are as everybody kind of gets in place, like you probably all together. And then when you get over to the chief store, you're like, all right, I'm going to do it. And then you kind of go to the center. There's about 11 people within range of this thing when this goes off. And you stand there and you're just like, boom, you set it off. Yeah.
Can I make one quick change?
Of course.
Since I have my resist fire on, I forgot about that. I want to actually be like super close to the fire, like in it if possible, because I can withstand temperatures as high as 120. That'd be far more impressive.
I mean, that's pretty awesome. So I don't see any reason why. It's just called resist fire. Your clothes and stuff are all protected as well?
Fire resistant ensures the subject. Yeah, it's on page 174.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, if it protects you from the fire and you don't take damage, you definitely can do that.
Even clad in full armor, the recipient can withstand temperatures as far as 120 degrees without suffering any ill effects. Fire and magical fire are saved at against +2 bonus.
Okay. I mean, how hot is a bonfire? I don't science people. I'm not sure. Can you stand in the center?
Google!
It sounds pretty awesome if you can, but I don't want you to get burnt up if it's. I mean, you would know this, so let's make sure that that's actually possible before.
Oh.
But that sounds amazing.
A campfire can reach internal temperatures of 1650 Fahrenheit.
Yeah. Okay, so you might not want to stand right in the middle of it.
Okay.
Yeah, Jones,
I'll just stand
by the
close
edge.
to it. Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. All right, yes, you stand close to it and you run me through this exactly what's happening here.
Okay. So I pop produce bonfire, and it boom blows, and everyone around it would take 1d4 damage.
Okay. No saving throw, so go ahead and. Oh wow, okay, they must damage or destroyed by the produced bonfire spill. Certainly papered. Yeah, I'm going to say that. Oh, okay. All right, go ahead. Sorry, I didn't mean to. Effectively, you're going to do damage, so you can roll a d4, and it really just take the same damage to make life easier for me. All the meat, all the stuff that was being smoked, the meat that was being cooked, all the fur, the skins that were being stretched. Oh, nice. That were being stretched around are all set aflame, basically engulfed in this. All right, so that's mechanically. So, are you going to say anything? Like, what's your?
Yes, I'm gonna say, I have been sent by the great Helios. Cleanse your sins by fire, and prove that you are worthy of his warmth.
Nice. All right, let me do a roll a reaction roll. What's your charisma?
14.
Oh, nice. That's +1, right? Or +2?
+1.
+1. All right, I'm going to give you an additional +2 for the fire, so +3 total. 6 plus 3 is 9. 9 is okay. Wow, okay. Yep, okay. They're definitely distracted. All the people out kind of they step back and they're kind of confused. They're not like just dropping to the knee, but they're definitely like kind of looking around at other people to see if they're going to drop. They're kind of like they're 100% distracted at this moment. So the fire goes whoosh, and you hear your friend's words, Prenesta and Revna. What's your plan?
Well, we were going down there while she was preparing this, so I want to try to get into that guy's hut.
Right, yeah, no, you were at the door when this happens, so
okay.
you're at the hut's
right.
door, yep. So the fire goes, and
I'm going to sneak in and take out. I have my.
Well, there's no way in without pulling the door open. I mean, there's like a small crack. You can either wait till he comes out, or you can open the door up. I mean, it lets you get straight.
I'm gonna open the door because if there's a big whoosh from the fire, then I'm gonna open the door and I'm gonna go in. I'm gonna try to stab him in the back.
Okay, so just I just want to set the scene because maybe I want to make sure it's clear. The door is just this like piece of wood leaning on the wall. Like to open the door is to just knock it on the wall, knock it on the ground. So this door is just going to drop on the ground as a huge fire explodes outside.
Right. So if I just drop it, it'll act like. Hopefully, he'll think it's just a result of the explosion.
Okay, and then you're just going to move in quickly, hoping to get in there and get him in the back. Okay, let me.
Yeah, what I actually do want to do is try to get him in like the hamstring or something. I do want to try to incapacitate him.
You just want to attack him, basically, no matter what happens.
Exactly.
Like even if he runs for the door, you're just going to try to chop him down.
I'm going to.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. So first, I'm going to roll to see if he's surprised. If he's surprised, he's going to stand there like a fool. He's actually surprised, so he's going to stand there like a fool. So yeah, he's like. The two guys at the door, I guess they're very surprised because they're like, ugh, as the door falls down. So two guys are like, ugh, and then he's like, and then the other guy's drawing, and he's like. So as you charge in, and you can get an attack on him. I mean, he is effectively, you're invisible. He doesn't know you're there. He's stunned. I'm going to make him defenseless. Yeah. But still roll an attack because you can also get an attack. I'm just still one person.
Well, before we do that, so you're saying there was two guys inside with him?
There's 3 people in there besides him. The guy drawing, the 2 guys at the door that you knelt down and saw their butts. They're still in there.
Okay. So what I'm going to do while she attacks him is I'm going to attempt to back the other 2 guys. I'm assuming are guards or soldiers or.
Yeah, they have spears.
Okay.
They have their.
I'm going to try to backstab one of the 2 men at the door.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, I mean you can still roll for it, because you might get a crit. But I'm going to say that they're effectively you're going to be able to hit them because they're stunned. So you guys can both make your attacks.
Okay.
So unless you roll a 1 or something, or a 20, it's just going to generally hit. So go ahead, and whoever wants to Prenesta attack first.
Okay.
You're first in my line.
15 plus.
I mean, as long as you didn't roll a 1 or a 20, you can just do damage.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yep. All right.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a 10 plus 1 is 11.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, you come in and you hack. He's posed, and you like slice him across his lower back or something. Well, okay. Yeah, and he screams out in pain. Revenant backstabbing the guy at the door again. Just you're only rolling to see if you fit if you critically fail or critically hit. Otherwise, it'll hit no matter what.
Wasn't there some kind of a bonus though if you had a dagger in each hand, or is it still just the same attack rate?
You could only backstab once.
Oh,
you don't get backstabs more than once. Because it requires the surprise, and you can't surprise things twice. Unless there's some kind of special rule.
You're missing what I'm asking. So when you backstab, you get your full attack, correct?
When you backstab, you get an attack, a single attack, one attack.
Okay. So even if your
offhand attack.
weapon, even if you're okay, that was my question. Okay.
That's right. If
I
you
wasn't
want to
trying- I
attack
wasn't-
twice, no, if you want to attack twice, you can, but the second attack will not be a backstab. It'll be a regular attack. Only one attack can be a backstab.
So that goes back to the original question. A dagger has a 3-2 attack, which means I only get one attack on the first round. But if I'm
No, a dagger doesn't have a 3-2 attack. Throwing a dagger has a 3-2 attack. If you're stabbing with a dagger,
I'm sorry,
you get-
I'm looking at missile. Hold on.
Yeah, you're fine. A melee, only fighters get multiple melee attacks, and you are not a fighter. So you will get an extra attack if you want to fight offhanded, but if you do that, you'll take a penalty.
I got you.
Yeah,
All right.
and you'll have to roll for the second attack. So the first one's automatically going to hit. So I think I know what you want to do. I mean, to make sure I'm clear here. So you want to attack twice with a dagger in each hand.
Yeah, but
Okay.
if only one of them gets the backstab bonus, that's fine. I just didn't know if I was allowed to follow up and try and stab him with the other attack or not.
You are, but because you're now making two attacks, you're going to have to. The second attack is going to be penalized.
Okay.
Because you'll. Yeah.
But
Yeah. So
but
go
the
ahead. So
first
make
one
the
is
backstab
not.
attack first.
Okay, cool. Backstab attack.
I mean, I'm essentially giving you each basically a free hit because of the setup. So but you're not going to get 2 free hits. That's my point.
Yep. All right, where's my +1?
Just don't roll a 1,
Yeah.
but do roll a 20.
My +1 dagger's not on here, but okay. There's gonna be a +1 to this.
Okay. Are you
Assassin's
a
dagger? I'm good. Here we go.
Oh, that hits all right.
It
All right,
was
cool.
not a crit though.
No, but it's a backstab, right? So you still do double damage.
So that's 10 points
You
of
are a
damage.
thief, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so 10 points. Okay.
Yep. I did crit the damage.
Nice. Okay.
Or max damage,
Exactly.
I should say.
All right. Yeah. So that actually doesn't take him down, but that definitely hurts him hard. And you can still make your second attack. It's just at -1 because it won't automatically hit. You're going to actually have to.
All right. So I do this. And so I hit armor class 7.
Okay.
Is that how I
Okay.
do that with -1?
Yep. That is correct. Armor class 7. Let me check the armor class actually. Hold on.
Armor class 5, right?
No, he's at a -1, not a +1.
Oh, okay. Sorry, my bad.
Yeah, he's penalized by 1. Yeah. Sorry, let me just check his armor class. His armor class is 7.
Ooh.
So it hits.
So I did hit him. So he
Yeah,
takes
you hit
3
him
more
with the second one
damage.
as well, doing 3 more points damage. Nice. Very well. Yeah, sorry, that was just a weird situation because I was giving you guys a free hit. That's why I just wanted to make sure that it was separate. Okay. I was only having you roll for the first one because if you critted.
Yeah.
All right, awesome.
So in the
you
future,
stab
when I do this with 2 daggers, the first one has no penalty, but only the second one. Or do they both have a
No,
penalty?
they both have a penalty, but I was
Okay.
just allowing an automatic hit, so I wasn't worried about the penalty in the first one.
That's what okay, now I'm
Yeah,
straight.
that's why it was a little bit weird because I was just basically I was only having you roll really because if you critted, I wanted to give you the extra damage.
Gotcha.
Okay, so you come in and you slash this guy across his buttocks, Prenesta. Revna stabs one of these guards kind of in the shoulder area as he's trying to turn around. Of course, Revna is regularly invisible, right? So you turn visible now.
Yes.
Prenesta does not. She just shimmers, right? Is that what you said?
Yeah, it's just like they can see a little bit shimmer or vibration where I am, but if I move out of the way, they can kind of know. But I still have a +4 in my AC.
She looks like the
Yeah.
Predator now.
Yes, exactly.
Right. So basically, if you win initiative and you step out of the way, then he won't be able to hit you, but if or target you, is that what you're saying? Or is that's the +4?
Well, I mean, I get a +4 AC no matter
No
what.
matter what. Okay, so it's flavor basically. So he can swing at you wildly, but he's gonna yeah. So you're gonna be very hard to hit. That makes sense. Outside, the people are not knowing exactly what to do, and you hear a battle cry. It's water splashing, and of course, Roan Siege sees running very swiftly with a spear in one hand and an axe in the other across the water is Prax. He's moving with a little bit less speed because they are armored, although really only Helene is really slowed down. Helene's like clunk, 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 with her giant maul and plate mail armor, But Gunhild in magical armor moves as swift as somebody unarmored, so she's also running with her spear into the melee. So, and that's the first round. They were surprised inside the building, so they get no attack, and outside they're kind of confused by your whole fire thing, so they're not doing anything. So the first round ends, and the current scene is that inside the building, well, Revenant's actually in the doorway. Revenant turns visible. There's two guys basically facing you now, the two guards that turned around. Inside the building, the chief, the Drakon is holding his buttocks. He sees the shimmering though, and he looks. He's going to reach down to try to grab a weapon. And you see, of course, is like a pile of his clothes and stuff on the ground off to the side. And the Fen is still kind of in shock. He kind of curls up into a ball. And of course, outside the three NPCs are charging into fight. So, what does everybody want to do? Runsage.
I'm going to do a spell.
Okay. How about Panesta?
Well, if he's still standing, I'm going to go for his legs again.
Oh, yeah, he's still standing. All right, cool. How about Revenant?
I'm staying as long as she is, so I'm going to keep trying the stabby stab.
Okay. All right, roll some initiative. Dickie.
Okay.
You got a 5.
3.
Wow, I made a lot of 5s in the initiative today.
3.
All right, they're going to go first, unfortunately. All right, so the chief reaches down and, picks up out of the pile. He draws a sword. He's going to swing at you, Panesta, even though he has your combat is just better by 4, right? So I'll just make an attack, and you can tell me if it hits you or not.
Okay.
Okay, so he is... Actually, it's 2 attacks. So I'll roll 2d20. Oof. Okay. So he gets +2 to hit. So that is a 9 and a 14. So a 9 hits armor class 6. So I'm sure that misses you.
Misses.
14 hits armor class 1.
Misses.
Misses. Okay, yeah. So he swings into the room.
With the
The
+4,
2
I'm at like -2 right now with the +4. So.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to hit you,
Yeah.
which is good. The 2 guys in the doorway, of course, can see Revna, and they both have spears, so they're going to try to stab you. They have the same stats, so I'm just going to roll 40-20. Yeah, they're 3 hit dice. They each get 2 attacks. So
Any chance they get a penalty for trying to use a spear in a doorway?
no.
Like the way
in
you
fact,
think.
the spear is the perfect weapon for the doorway. They step back and
Well, I tried.
yeah, no, I like it. Okay, so there we go. Ooh, 17s. Oh, wow, they each rolled a 17 and a 12. That's so weird. They get +2, so 19s and 14s. They are, though, only 3 hit dice. So 14 hits armor class 3. Did I hit you?
I don't know, because I have new armor class. No, they do not. I have armor class of 2 because of the shiny new chainmail.
Nice. Okay, but unfortunately, the 2 17s hit you, though.
Sorry.
Yeah.
The shiny new leather, I meant to say.
That's good.
The 17s did get me?
Yeah, well, they're 19s with the bonus, and that means it hits armor class -2. So that would even hit Panesta.
Yeah, got me.
Okay, and they're just using spears with one hand, so they do a d6 each, so 2d6. Yeah, poke with 2 spears. Not too bad, though. 9 points.
Not too good either.
Well, no, yeah. So they kind of stab at you, trying to push you out the door, hopefully towards, and they scream out, "Kill the intruders!" And the people outside, I'll roll for a reaction with them, because it's their turn. We'll see if they're sticking with their being stunned thing. Ooh. Even with the fire, that's only a 7. Ooh, okay, uncertain. Okay, I'm going to give it high or low, Crystal.
Go with high. Always like high.
Okay, high. So yeah, rolled a 5. So they're still stunned this round. They're still like they're unsure. You see some of them like grab their weapons, but nobody moves to attack at this point. And that is the enemy's turn. So now it's on to you guys. Melee happens first, so Panesta.
All right, I'm going to dart around behind him again, if I can. And try to actually hamstring him. Oh, 15. So that plus 2. I hit armor class -2.
Oh, that definitely hits you.
Okay. Or 8 points.
Oh wow, okay. Yeah, he drops, he drops, like starts to almost fall forward, and then he kind of staggers back up with his now his left butt cheek is also bleeding, so he's got 2 slices. The muscle is like hanging off, like a giant slab of pork roast.
Gloopman,
Revna.
gloop mead, baby.
All right, Revna, there's 2 guys in front of you. One is injured, one is not. They both have spears, of course.
Okay. I'm sorry to ask this again. What did you say the penalty was when
For the dagger?
When I'm using one in each hand?
-1 for each.
Oh, it's just okay. So these are just flat rolls then, because these are magic daggers. Sweet.
Yeah, nice. Not too bad because you got a nice high dex. So
yeah. All right, here we go. I'm attacking the one that I've already stabbed the shit out of.
Okay. Yeah, he's
here we
pretty
go.
hurt.
Boom. Boom.
That hits. That definitely hits. Okay, 5 points.
5
Not enough to kill him
points.
though.
Damn it! These guys are tough.
You get him twice in the gut, and he kind of staggers back, and he grabs his spear in 2 hands, realizing that you're tougher than you look. And the other guy, of course, is like, "Whoa!" It just gets out of the way. Outside, at this point, he's naked. He hit to 50. All right, they're not there yet. Your allies aren't there yet. It's going to take Helene about 4 rounds to get there, and the other ones aren't going to get there till this next round. So that's that. Next round.
Spell?
Oh, I'm sorry. I totally forgot. See, I only care about Malay people, clearly.
Yeah.
Sorry about that, Crystal. Go ahead.
No, it's all good. So when they raise their weapons, she's going to say, "You would dare attack a prophet of Helios?" And she's going to cast Flame Spear on a group of them.
Oh, okay. What does that do?
It creates a globe of fire, 6 foot in diameter, and it does 2d4 damage on them unless a sorcery saving throw is successful. And I think and also any clothes or anything they have, any combustibles are set ablaze.
Okay, it's 6
And
foot in diameter.
I can also move it 10 foot as long as I concentrate on it. Every round.
Nice. So it stays there basically. All right, 6 feet. I mean, that's not huge. So I'll say 2 people you can catch with that. Let me do a sorcery save. Sorcery save. Boom. For the first one. Well, I just rolled 1. It's fine. They both failed. So go ahead and do some damage.
Okay. So that'll be 2d4 damage on those. Boom. 6 damage.
Boom. All right. You say this, and 2 of them light up, and you actually see them just they crumble to the ground. Their flesh completely burnt. All their furs and stuff still kind of smoldering. You can see actually parts where their skin's completely burnt off, and you can see part of their skull underneath is blackened from the spell as a fiery globe floats above their now burnt up dead bodies. All right, cool. So 2 are dead. At this point, sorry, now I'm back here. Yeah, so at this point, the other NPCs, whatever, are running to come in, and inside the hut, Finn. Fen is he sees now that you guys are fighting the soldiers, and you can see that he is encouraged by this, and he starts to kind of get up and move like towards the wall, like out of the way. But at least he's not sitting on the ground in fear anymore. The chief is looking around with his sword to try to find who's cutting his butt, and the 2 guys at the door are, obviously facing off with Revna. So what does everybody want to do? We're on siege.
I'm gonna begin to move my spear towards another group.
Okay. I'm sure they will run away. Panesta?
I'm gonna take one more swing at this guy. I'm gonna do more butt cutting.
Okay. And Revna?
If you've got to go, run if you need to.
Well, I still. So the other guy kind of backed away out of the way, according to Daniel. So uh, I don't know if he's planning to attack me or not, but I'm gonna stick it out for one more round with this dude.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely. I mean, you would know he's planning. He's planning to attack you. You just jumped at the first guy and stabbed him in the gut, and the other guy stood back. So
Yeah,
so he didn't get stabbed. Basically,
I want to stick it out.
Fools.
I want to stick it out one more round, see if I can take this guy down.
Okay. All right. By this round, Prax and Gunhild will get into the village, not quite to the hut, but to the village, and Helene will be getting to the water at this point. So go ahead and roll initiative, Dickie. 3.
1.
On first. Okay, so Chief Lee Butt is going to attack. And he gets 2 attacks at +2. Okay. When you're that injured in the butthole. All right, so rolls a natural 1. Go ahead and roll a d12 to see what happens.
D12?
Yeah.
Okay, I got one right here.
Yep, he's a fighter type, so
12.
well, I guess he's a monster.
7.
7. Stumble. Awkward stumble. 1 adjacent enemy, that would be you, gets 1 free attack. No further attacks possible. Okay, so you're going to get 2 attacks this round, Panesta, because you get a free attack right now.
What?
Well, when it's your turn, you get a free attack. Let me just do the other guy. Well, actually, no. Get a free attack now, then when it's your turn, you'll still get your regular attack.
Just get my attack.
So,
Okay.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Oh, that might not hit him. It was a free attack, so I wasn't.
Yeah.
It's armor class 3.
That hits. Yeah. I mean, it's basically naked.
Right.
You're fighting a bunch of naked people.
Ooh.
Having armor and proper weapons is a...
11 more points of damage. I just rolled another 10.
Yeah, you were planning on cutting his butt, but then he stumbles towards you, and you look, and your sword is run all the way through his gut. He kind of looks at you, and he falls backwards, dead on the ground. Let me just see. The guys in the door.
We weren't supposed to kill him.
The guys in the doorway do not see that he's dead, though. They don't see him die because they didn't turn around.
We can hit Bernie, sis. We can hit Bernie.
Oh no, we can hit Bernie's. All right, so the 2 guys in the door now, unfortunately, are going to try to stab at Ravna. Now with spears in 2 hands.
Help!
Same deal.
Help!
Not me. Oh,
This doesn't sound good.
okay. Now, the natural 20 definitely hits, and last time a 17 hit, so it's
fucking
gonna
A!
hit.
Come on.
All right. All right, so we're gonna roll a d6 for the crit. 2. Okay, they're a monster. So monster. That's only +2. Okay, so the first guy with his spear is going to do a d8 +2. Okay, I'll just roll a d8 and then I'll add 2 to it. d8 +2, so 4 points. And the second guy just gets a regular hit, d8, 8. So you take a total of 8 points, 4 and 4, as you are stabbed once each by these 2 guys. Are you still up?
I'm sorry. How much damage was it again?
A total of 8, 4 and 4.
Oh yeah. I mean, I was not injured when I got here.
Which is nice.
Yeah, I can't, for some reason, my damn tabs won't go back. You said 8 more points?
8 total, yep. 4 and 4, 2 attacks.
1, 2,
if that
3,
matters.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, I'm hurting pretty good, though.
Okay, so that is the enemy. And then back around to the PCs. Panesta, he's dead. Would you like to attack somebody else instead? Since you just killed him, or do something else?
One of the other people that are attacking Revna.
Okay. The hurt one or the non-hurt one?
The hurt one for now.
Okay.
Oh.
You're stealing her kill.
No?
I was
You're
going to
a kill
say,
stealer.
might be better to go for the one that's not hurt.
Okay. The not hurt one. Oh, I rolled 15, 16, So that hits -2 AC.
Oh yeah, definitely hits.
8 points of damage.
Oh wow, okay, nice. Yeah, you cut into this guy across his back, and he yelps out and kind of looks over. He spins. He just finishes stabbing. Whenever that happens, he steps back and he gets cut across the back and he spins around looking for an enemy.
Yep.
They're going to go back to back. The two guys, as well-trained warriors do. Okay, Revna.
So we're going second in initiative, right?
That is correct.
Okay. When we declare our actions, if we were wanting to switch weapons, were we supposed to announce that at the beginning?
Yeah, if you want to switch a weapon, then it's going to take this entire round because you have a weapon in each of your hands. So you'd have to put something away unless you want to drop them on the ground.
All right. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to stab the guy. Okay. We're going at him. I don't want to lose my attack here because it would be bad. There we go.
Double dagger.
Oh shit.
So it's 7 that hits. That's his armor class is 7. All right.
No, because it's the -1. It cancels out the +1 magic.
Oh, okay. So it's
that one hit though.
Well, no. His armor class is 7, so that would hit armor class 7 because it says 6, so it'd be 7.
No, dude, you're giving me armor class. Oh, sorry, I'm an idiot. Yes.
Yeah, 7 is worse than 6.
Yeah. So I hit him twice for 4 points of damage total.
Okay. It's not enough to kill him, unfortunately.
God damn it.
Yeah,
I had to roll 2 1s for damage, of course.
Yeah, your damage die was low. Yeah, so he's still up. He's very hurt, though. And he's now back-to-back with his associate. Ben is kind of making his way behind the coal stove at this point. And okay, yeah. They'll attack as they're running. So Prax and Gunhild, I don't want to take a whole bunch of time doing attacks for people that don't matter, but well, I guess everybody matters. I shouldn't say it like that. Prax is going to make stab people as he runs past. He hits one of them. Gunhild is going to attack as she runs past. She kills one. She kills 2. We do all his damage. He also killed 1. Okay. So yeah, as they're running through, they're stabbing people with the spears. You see them running through Road Siege as you're moving your globe. So it only moves 10 feet around.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So it's driving people. Do want to move them in a certain direction. It's going to move people away from them, but they can move faster than the fire. So
yeah, I'll move it towards one of the huts, and she'll yell out as she does so, "Run, for the wrath of Helios is now upon you."
Okay, nice. So you're going to try to burn a hut down. All right, let me do another reaction. Wow, okay. Yeah, they start charging away from that hut. And towards the water. So yeah, you've frightened them now. As you start moving it towards one of the huts. Back inside, the two guys are back to back. The chief is dead on the ground. You hear Prax and Gunhild yelling as they're running through the town. As we come up onto this round, what does Road Siege want to do? You're moving the globe still, or do you want something else around? It'll take you 2 rounds to get it there at your speed that you're moving it.
Is everyone running away, or are they still paying attention to me?
They're running away from where you're moving the globe. Yeah. So I mean, they're paying attention in the sense that they can hear you, but they're not standing there staring at you.
Yeah. She's just going to continue to burn down huts and be all wrathy.
Nice. Yeah. I mean, the bonfire is 30 feet away from any of the huts. OSHA and all that. So you lit it up over here about 10 feet away. So they burnt. People died. Then you moved it 10 feet towards huts. So it's another 10 feet. It'll start lighting a hut on fire. But everybody's running in the other direction. So you basically scared the village away, which is pretty good. So you effectively took out 50, almost 50 people by yourself. So clap yourself on the back. All right, so you're gonna do that. Panessa, what are you doing?
I'm gonna attack this other guy I'm fighting. Melee.
Yeah, okay. And how about Ravna? He's pretty hurt, but he's determined. And you can hear Prex and Gunhild running through the village towards you.
I'm gonna give it, since I'm only fighting one this time, I'm giving it one more chance.
All right.
Before I have to make my escape.
All right, sounds good. Helene is making her way towards you, but she's going to take her a couple rounds to get there in her plate mail armor. She's like,
Yes.
God damn, we can't get me magical armor. She's lugging that one. All right, so initiative, Nikki.
All right.
They got 2.
Ooh, we got a 6 this time.
All right. Melee happens, so Panesta.
All right. Ooh. It hits armor class 5.
That hits.
Oh,
Very
nice.
6.
Okay.
7, rather.
For 10 points of damage.
Oh, okay. He staggers a little bit back because he can't go too far because he's back to the other guy, but he's still standing, but he's very hurt.
He knocks my guy he knocks my guy down on his face.
He knocks him towards you anyways. Go ahead.
Ah! All right. Is it my turn then?
It is your turn.
It's my
Let's see what you
turn.
got.
Come on, assassin daggers. Boom.
Nice.
Boom. Oh.
Ooh.
Critical
That's
fail.
a critical fail, actually, in the last one, yeah. It did not kill him either. He has 1 hit point left. Roll a d12 to see what happens with your crit fail.
Damn it!
Don't get hit ally or something like that.
Yeah, no.
Vanessa's right there.
That's not funny. Whoops.
Oh, nothing happened. Did it roll? Nope, 8. There we go. You are a thief. 8 is stumble. Okay, so you also stumble, and an adjacent enemy gets an attack. Oh. Yeah, and he's still there, so he's going to get to attack because you didn't kill him.
He gets a free
This is
attack.
unfortunate, but he's going to get a free attack. Yep.
So
He's
now might as well have been fighting too.
Yep. He's probably the one of the last things he'll ever do, but he's going to get a free attack.
Yeah, well, it might be the best thing he ever did because
No, that's not going to hit you, right? Because it's 17 to hit you. All right, yeah. So he you stumble towards him and he tries to butt up the spear to get you, but you can't get a good thing on it. And then because of the distance, Gunhild and Prax come charging in. Gunhild first, and she's going to try to put a spear through the one that you're fighting.
yes.
She's going to try to stab both of them. To be honest with you, she's going to do one each. So spear for the one on.
Dude, it would be so awesome if she just stabbed through mine into the one that Panesta was fighting. Oh,
we may have to do that, right?
not like that. We won't.
Oh, not with the critical fail. Even with the critical fail, she hits AC 5. If you would have hit even with the critical fail. All right, but it misses because it's critical fail. Wow, we're critting all over the place today. Roll a d12 for me, Rush.
Okay.
She's a fighter, so roll low.
I got an 8 again. Nope.
Oh my God! Drop weapon. Weapon pitches 1d6 plus 4 feet. Oh my gosh, she's dropping her magic spear.
Oh,
So
you're going to roll that part?
to 6 feet in a random direction.
Well, she's
3
scrappy. She'll
forward.
go get it.
Yeah, she tries to stab the guy, and the spear slips out of her hand and shoots forward. And it kind of drops on the ground in front. However, she doesn't lose her next attack because she gets 2 attacks. She is going to just try to tackle the guy.
Too much gusto in it.
Yeah. So spear goes out of her hand, and she's just going to jump on the guy. I guess I'll just roll a
Yes!
20.
That's what you call putting mustard on a hot dog right there.
That's right. Doesn't mess around. There we go. That hits. Yeah. So she leaps on this guy and tackles him to the ground. He gets a sorcery. No, he gets an avoidance save to see if he's pinned. No, he fails. Okay. Yeah. So she basically tackles the one guy that's on you, Revna, and crashes to the ground with him. He doesn't take any damage, obviously, but she loses her spear in the process. Prax also runs in, and he gets 2 attacks as well. He's going to try
no.
to stab through the one that's on Pernesta. Of course, he doesn't see Pernesta. The 6 probably doesn't hit, but the 15 definitely does. The 6 hits armor class 9, so that doesn't hit anything. The 15 hits armor class 0, so that hits him. Let's give me some damage. Two-handed spear damage. 4. That's enough. It kills him. Okay, so he comes through and he stabs the other guy. Who, I mean, he's not an idiot. He realizes that his back's to everybody. He must be fighting Ipinesta or somebody invisible. So he, stabs as Gunhild somehow slips up. Her spear's bloody because she was running with it, and she misses with it, and she just plunges into the first guy, tackles him onto the ground, and she's on him now. As we go, then you're moving your spell, and Helene's still running. The rest of the village is running everywhere. I mean, the fight's effectively over. This guy's down. She strangles him out. You see Gunhild choking this guy to death as the next round starts. And the village is basically empty. The huts are beginning to light on fire. Praxis looks around. He sees the dead chief, and then he kind of looks over his shoulder. And then he walks up with his axe and he chops the guy's head off, picks up the sword, and he kind of shrugs. And he says, he sees, because he only sees Revner at this point. And he says, well, here is your man. He points at the Fen who's standing there. He should be able to show you to the items, and if he doesn't, I certainly can. I thank you. My men will eventually come back when the village stops smoldering. You can stop smoldering the village now. He yells out.
I'll drop invisibility at this point.
Tom say, you better grab a bucket if you want to stop the smoldering of the village.
Yeah.
Well, the houses aren't they're not super close together.
Rowan's teacher is gonna look towards where the sun would be, and she's gonna kind of like do a sign of Helios and be like, "I'm so sorry, I used your name in vain."
Extra
so
prayers for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead. Sorry.
I was just gonna say, "Oh, you extra tithe."
Yeah, extra time, exactly. Do you are you not going to keep burning stuff down, or do you want to keep burning the village down? He's kind of asking.
No, I'll just move it like 10 feet into the air, the flaming sphere.
Okay. Yeah, so it's like floating above one building that's on fire. You hear like and you see that Gunhild smash that guy's head clean open on the ground. And she gets up and kind of wipes her hands off and picks up the spear.
I would actually go.
Go ahead.
I would say I would actually, while she was wrestling with that guy, I would actually go and get her spear, because my plan was to go get her spear and then stab that dude with it while she was wrestling him. But apparently she took care of it. And I would actually help Grunhild up, and I would hand her spear, and I would put like one hand on each side of her face and like hold her cheeks. And I would just tell her, as I would say, you are the truest Viking I have ever seen.
And you are the truest Viking I have ever seen. And she smiles.
Yep. And I'd give her a hug and try to and then go bleed somewhere.
Yeah, exactly. You're bleeding. She immediately is like, you're bleeding. And she yells out, and Helene finally makes it, of course, in her plate armor.
Yes. I would tell Helene, say, catch your breath, woman. I will be okay for a few more minutes.
She's like, oh, geez. We got to get some armor from me.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, she sits down. Oh, it's warm in here. Then you can see the little coal burning in through. So Fen is there, and he seems a little confused, but happy that he's been rescued, I guess. He kind of looks at you and he's like, I'm just an artist. I could serve you and make great images of you. And look, this one of the chief I made. And there's like the parchment is flat down on the ground. And when he picks it up and shows it to you, it is a picture of a Drakon, and his head is chopped off.
Nice. Nice.
You must be Fen.
I am Fen. Fen. My last name. Fen Moore. That's what the last name is. I am but a simple artist. I've come to the wilderness to express myself and to indulge my senses in the lotus leaf. And unfortunately, I was set upon by this tribe.
Well,
And
we are
Such
here
is the
with
day.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, you were first.
Well, we are here with Dill, and
what, Dill?
well,
Dill left the city?
Yes, he did. He's with our horses as we speak.
He's near horses.
It was Dill that brought us here to rescue you from this wretched place.
Ah, my brother.
He cares for you very much.
Yes.
You owe him
He
a
does
great
not
thanks.
think it as much of himself as he should. He is a great artist as well, with the song.
Yes, we've heard his high notes.
That's his specialty.
But Fen, we need you to come back to the city with us.
Ooh. Yes, I know.
Yes, I'm sure you do. And we were told you were not untalented in other areas besides painting.
Well, I mean, I would need to clean up a little bit, and you just had a combat. But
I meant magic.
Oh, yes. I dabble a bit.
Apprentice to Vole? That would be more than dabbling.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yes, well. Oh, is it Bull who sent you?
Don't you know?
Yes, I know, but it's too hard to know everything. No, actually, I don't know that. I do not know who sent you, but I've seen your face before, though you are much older and haggard.
Yes, that happens. And yes, it was Vole, and...
No, it hasn't happened. You are much older.
Well, we
And
all
outside
grow
Rome
old.
Siege, the fire of the bonfire grows 25 feet tall, and you see what is effectively an effigy of Panesta. You immediately recognize her. Much older, probably something like 60 years old. The fire steps forward and speaks. The figure, and it says, "You must not complete this quest. You will die." And it reaches down and touches the roof of the building that you're in, and the roof lights up on fire. And I think we'll leave it there.